infections, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly, so get it in your head.
Check the backseat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time. Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover. Double crossover.
The crossover continues to evolve.
All right, time for the crossover. It's powered by Everlow Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlowconcrete.com. Good Monday, boys.
Hello. What's up?
Hello.
It's weird. You don't look like a tarp to me.
It's all Connor saw.
Oh, I
Did
see.
you go to sleep just seeing
Tarps.
tarps?
Yep, tarp.
See
We could do a
reflection of
tarp ranking around the city if we really wanted to.
got the
I
best?
have the information.
Do any of them
Top
have
five tarps?
advertising on them?
No.
The Charles Schwab one does not.
No,
Real
it's
wasted
a
opportunity.
Yes,
blank-
it is.
Blank white tarp.
I believe
have
Haymarket
any of
does
you
not.
guys in this room pulled tarp before?
I have plenty.
A lot. In fact,
I
a
pulled
snake
tarp
came out
in
of
the
tarp
Florida
one time.
State League,
Yeah, not great.
which you would do probably 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody once in their life should pull tarp
Yep.
at a baseball stadium.
Yeah, it'll
It'll humble you, especially when there's wind involved.
you really feel like you're part of the deal when you're pulling tarp.
It is kind of nice. It's like when you mow a good field. Once you finally get the sandbags or whatever you're using to weight down the tarp, and then you just sit there and look from a press box and say, "Hey, looks pretty good."
I
helped.
learned I learned Creighton softball has a bit of a problem with their tarp at the moment.
Is there holes in it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Holy
okay.
tarp.
so that's
no good.
why
Tarp.
the infield, which is dirt, looked a little.
So they were gonna
They had a lot of diamond dry in the middle of their infield.
that's where I was.
yes.
That's where I
Were
was.
you helping?
I was bunkered down with the Creighton softball team during tornado time on Friday.
I thought maybe you were helping out, putting some Aggulime or some Diamond Pro on,
Yeah, no, I was
raking it in.
I was getting there. I was gonna do some PA, and I was like, all right, I don't really want to go home, which would have been in right in Tornado Alley,
Yeah.
basically.
On the teeth of it.
And so I stayed down there, hung out for a while. They were still trying to figure out a way to get the game in, and then the tornado popped up at the airport. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty close to here. And they were still trying to figure out a way to play that night, but then they ended up pushing it over to the next day. They ended up actually playing, and
I was shocked Nebraska played Friday night.
yeah, just wild stuff. I guess I haven't seen Haymarket Park's tarp this year. Any?
I haven't either.
Oh,
yeah.
Can it double as a bounce house?
Ooh, now
nice.
how great would that
Now
be?
it tends to get a little soggy over
Yes.
it tends to pool at Haymarket
Yeah,
Park.
Yep, the
I
warning
noticed-
tracks usually get a little.
I noticed they had the
friendly.
sump pump out yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
I was-
vacuums.
So we were going to go. I have a couple friends that are Iowa fans who Connor, and then we're going to bring Reese to the game yesterday. And so I was texting back and forth with Ben and saying, "Is this thing going to happen?" He goes, "I don't know. All I can tell you is the warning track is underwater right now."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good indication that we don't need to leave anytime soon if this thing is going to happen. So
Yeah, a lot of the track just gets underwater. The dugouts stay out of a lake effect.
They get it in front of it.
Yeah, that's good.
They definitely get some pools in front of it. I remember all the way back in 2005 when Creighton and Nebraska were playing in the regional, and they had a really bad storm come through. That thing just within a matter of 5 minutes, and I mean it was pretty heavy, but you had standing water all over the place, and it's always on the warning track, especially in left center field. I don't know why.
Yeah,
But we made it through.
we did.
We
We played enough. I mean, we got enough games in this weekend.
Georgetown. What, they have to get out of 4:45?
4:45 was their hard time. Yeah. So it became clear after about noon that we weren't going to play the resumption of the first one and then the third one, or the resumption of the second one and then the third one. So I think we were playing for an inning and a half yesterday.
Yeah.
Baseball.
We love baseball.
Speaking of
We're-
baseball,
we're due for some great long rain delays at the College World Series this year.
It could be.
I'll choke both of you guys out.
I'm just saying, we're due.
I think we're due for
We're due.
for bad weather tomorrow night.
2 years ago, we were perfect. Last
No,
year,
why
we
are
had
we
one
talking
lightning
about
delay,
this?
and this year we are going
Have
to
you
be
not learned to
underwater.
wait a minute, hold on, stop.
Underwater.
Staring this
I know
buzzsaw
because
in the
so
face.
I've already
Look at me. Look
I've
at
already
me.
messed with the karma god. I said Nebraska made it through 14 practices, no
You
injuries.
did.
It's very rare.
Good job by you.
Yeah, so I'm off of that.
Yep.
So speaking of baseball, I was reading Nick like the responses to the series, the Nebraska-Iowa series, is this Iowa guy said, "Oh, look at Nebraska fans are paying attention to a sport that they play Iowa in." And he said, "Death, taxes, and Nebraska fans caring about Iowa."
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm
Considering
thinking,
Twitter on Saturday after the spring game.
yeah, and how Nebraska probably supports baseball more than anybody else in the Big Ten.
Yep.
Yeah,
even
that's
close.
been a
Not
long-standing thing.
even
So-
close.
I like the Iowa guy saying after watching Dylan Raiola's highlights, "We're bleeped." That was my favorite tweet of the weekend. He's got an Iowa. He's got the hot chicken hawk in his
His
profile
avatar.
picture, and it just
Was
says, "We're bleeped."
Okay, so that was different from the guy that goes, "Man, I wish that tornado would have hit Memorial Stadium."
Yeah, yikes.
At
Yikes.
least
Come on.
Iowa Twitter took care of their own. But I was thinking, so the three certainties in life: death, taxes, and
Rain delays. Iowa and Nebraska living rent free in each other's heads.
That's good.
Where are you getting at here?
Somebody saying
no,
Creighton,
you
Nebraska
could
isn't the
fill in
rivalry?
anything you want.
Oh, really? This is just an open
Like-
conversation.
Like Falcon fan would be, I'm always going to hear about 28-3.
yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
Oh, well, then that's for as a Chicago Bears fan, I always hear about the 2017 draft.
So are you saying from the perspective of Iowa fan, like what
Yeah.
death, taxes, and
Nebraska
Iowa-
living rent free in your head.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
that.
Iowa beating Nebraska on Black Friday or something like that, except for the Trey Palmer year, of course, didn't count
Mhm.
because they
Welcome
didn't have
ahead.
Cooper DeJean.
Yep, they didn't have him last year either.
Oh, that's right. There was that asterisk in the media guide, wasn't there?
It's right there. It shouldn't really.
Well, there were
count.
members of the media from Iowa that were saying, "Nah, I'm not going to say that they didn't win the game, but I would have loved to have seen the game if Cooper DeJean played
Did
in the
any
game."
did any of the Iowa media members who made their way over for baseball check out the spring game?
I'd be curious to know how
I
many.
see what you did there.
Yeah. I'd be curious to know how many members of the media from Iowa made it over to
There it
baseball.
is.
Yeah.
you got it.
But isn't it funny how when Nebraska beats Iowa, we all of a sudden care about baseball?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a new thing around here. We never care about baseball except for when they play
Gary's-
Iowa.
Gary's been there. I kind of don't know if you've have
It's-
you, have
it's
you
a-
been to Dwayne Banks Field? Oh man, it's a raucous environment. They sell it out.
It's already a problem that Nebraska has to be in that godforsaken baseball conference.
Yeah.
And now they have to have Iowa as their rival in baseball. My God.
Death, taxes, and Wisconsin's our rival.
Nebraska went to 3 College World Series. Okay. All right.
Don't know if you knew that.
Iowa, this is not new around here. Thank you.
And I like Rick Heller. He's a family friend.
Yeah, it's
He's a
good.
great coach.
He
too.
just happens to coach at Iowa.
It's a good coach.
He's a good coach in Northern Iowa. He's a good coach at Iowa.
And they finally taught their guy how to throw strikes, which is nice.
Yeah, he was filthy last night.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. That's nice. That's good for them.
I mean, look at you have baseball. People got to see a first-round draft pick yesterday pitching for Iowa. You may in week 2 get to see the number 1 overall pick in the 25 NFL draft. Shador is the
yeah.
betting favorite to be the number 1 overall pick.
Okay, can I bet on that to not happen?
Yeah, I would be surprised
Sure
if it
can.
did happen.
Okay.
But it also who is going to be drafting 1.
Yeah. If you're
A guy like Perkins from LSU, Pierce from Tennessee.
so what I say, like plus 100 on that.
Yeah, so it's pretty.
So if you just for everybody, if you do that, if you decide to take the action on Shador Sanders plus 100 to be number 1 overall in the NFL draft, get help. 1-800-BETS-OFF. It's a great resource. It's a good place for you. You don't have to do that. Nobody's making you bet on it.
No.
As of right now.
No, they're responsible.
I just wouldn't do it. Plus 100? It's horrible. Horrible odds.
Number 1 draft pick or a sandwich.
Classic question. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The way that the NFL draft works now, you probably just take the best quarterback that's out there. Who else is it going to be? Drew Aller?
Oh, yeah.
Probably not.
Carson Beck,
Carson Beck?
Quinn Ewers,
Quinn.
Oh, a guy named Quinn.
Guy named Quinn.
Yeah, not afraid of him.
Dylan.
Dylon cannot go next year.
Are you sure
He can go somewhere else,
they could challenge the court system?
but he cannot go to the NFL.
Oh, yeah. All you got to do is sue him.
Cannot go
Sue
to the
somebody.
NFL.
Sue the NFL.
When will the tanking
Carson
begin?
Beck and his weird looking neck.
Carson Beck with the neck.
There's too much of it.
When will the tanking
I
begin?
know.
So you're saying he's got a little Mike Glennon
I
in
miss
him.
now that Nebraska doesn't feature the fullback. I miss looking at pictures of guys' necks. Like when I would go through the pictures in the roster, like the no neck guys. I miss those times.
I know we don't.
But
have
now
a lot
I'm
of
going to
no
be
neck.
just
It's
infatuated.
I had to
with-
look again.
Too many necks out there.
It's kind of Mike Glennon-esque. It's not quite Mike Glennon, but it's close. Mike Glennon had the neck of all.
How's the
necks.
apple?
It's pronounced
Prominent?
Yeah,
very.
It's there. It's unavoidable.
How long until the Tennessee Titans convince themselves that Jackson Dart is the future?
It won't be long. I was wondering when the tanking is going to start for the 2027 first pick. It's probably soon.
I think
right?
Arizona probably will look into that.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray will be through. He'll be,
Yeah.
Mhm.
we don't want to pay him anymore. Got to move on.
Gotta
makes
keep
sense.
Marvin Harrison Jr. happy.
Right around the corner.
All adds up.
Right around the.
I mean, I'm
corner.
glad you're on that side now. You're all in on. He'll be first round 2027, leaving a legacy.
I think you just. I think you just hop on the train and take it as long as it takes you.
Yep. I mean, isn't that where we are in this team? Just enjoy it.
Got a 5-star quarterback.
There's going to be some peaks and valleys, but you just enjoy it.
He's
when you are-
exceedingly competent.
When you
Yeah,
are
he is.
when you are a Pat Mahomes kid, I think that's okay. It is so uncanny. Like we all kind of been aware of. He wears 15, his hairstyle. That's his like idol. But to see him in a game,
Yeah.
Mannerisms.
it's uncanny.
Mhm.
Like just the pitter patter feet, the way that he claps his hands.
Yep.
I mean,
Motions
it's
over.
like a spitting image, almost uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's got that baseball in him too because he played baseball.
Yeah, so
and-
there's a little bit of the pigeon toe.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the way he walks.
Yep.
It's very odd.
Mhm.
It's very odd, but it's good. You keep looking like Patrick Mahomes. I'm fine with that.
He's going to go work out with Patrick Mahomes and his
His
trainer.
Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't seem sure if it was just Patrick
Yeah.
or just the trainer.
Does he get to go to the new house, the Patrick Mahomes compound?
I would imagine
play a couple holes.
I would imagine
So he has
Need some
worked out with
content.
the trainer Bobby before, and then it almost looks like Mahomes just happens to be there, so they take a picture together.
Yeah.
But the
Nice.
internet
Which
will
is fun.
break. He'll do something this fall, and Mahomes will retweet it
Yep.
or like it or comment, and the internet in Nebraska
and
will
it'll
break
say,
up.
it'll say big things on the
Yeah.
horizon.
My baby bro balling out.
They
People
can
are
do
"What?"
like a twins
Yeah.
ad for like State Farm
Yep.
or something.
Oh, you're saying, well, we need somebody to
Are we gonna?
replace
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark in the State
Yeah.
Farm College
Are
edition.
we going to get a Dylan Raiola State? Wow.
And then Arnold shows up. He's like, "I hear you're doing twins."
Hey, they're going to announce the.
That'd be amazing.
They're going to announce the cover athletes today for NCAA football, I guess. What are the odds do you think that Caitlin Clark's on there? The cover of the
for
college,
football?
the college football video game.
Someone pitched it in a meeting.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yep. They're like, I get it. It's football, but what? I mean, Caitlin
What-
Clark's still
what
pretty
if-
hot right now. Should
She's
we
everywhere.
capitalize?
I'm just saying, what if? I'm not saying we do it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, what if we did?
just going to throw it out there. You guys can throw it right back.
No bad
Feel
ideas,
free.
right? Gang?
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. She's already everywhere. Why not put her there?
Would people just buy it because she's on the cover?
Definitely.
Yeah.
The
Look,
Caitlin
Brent,
Clark
we
edition.
told you she's risking overexposure.
We think we can squeeze one more in there. John emails in on the Equibank inbox.
Hi, John.
Purdue is now atop the Big Ten Conference baseball standings. What kind of hell are we living in?
And Nebraska doesn't play them.
So they're going to sit and run out the clock, right?
Yep.
They're
Yep.
Yeah.
not going to
Like,
play any more
"Oh,
games.
well,
Speaking of tarps,
Hey, you know
I'd
what?
like to see their
Yep.
tarp.
Yep. Has that thing been improved, or do they even roll it out? Well, I guess it wasn't even a bad tarp. It was they just didn't
They
put it
did-
on.
Well, did they not put it on, or they left it on too long?
No, they didn't put
Oh,
it
they
on.
didn't put it
Yeah,
on.
they didn't
Yeah.
put it on, and they knew that there was a storm coming through. Like, I think we missed the window of when we can get it on. So let's just not put it on and hope for the best.
Nice.
Wink.
Good call. Good call.
See, now that you're an expert in tarps, you would have been able to tell them the rights and the wrongs.
That's
What
true.
to do in West Lafayette.
I know. I would have. So get that tarp on the field right now because it's raining.
So for
I
people,
thought that was pretty self-explanatory.
people who understand the tarp removal understand how truly difficult that task is, especially when you're trying to keep it in a nice line in the middle of the tube.
Oh yeah.
So you take away the air bubbles.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, and
and then it
you
starts
got,
coming off to the side a little bit.
you got to be
Ugh.
really careful because
Yep.
when you're ripping it off, you got to, or especially when you're putting it back on too, you got to keep it low. Otherwise, you get that air
Yep,
underneath
it
there, and
starts
all of a
going
sudden you
this
got
way.
guys blowing away.
Yep.
over the
very true.
fence. We do not want that.
That is very fun though when you
Look at these
you run
rookies.
run across the tarp
We-
and you knock down the air bubbles and you
Oh.
get ones that are like
Very
20
satisfying.
feet high. You're like, whoa!
We
They're
did
flopping them.
we would do it accordion style. So you would fold up the tarp accordion. So yes, it would come out quicker.
Oh,
That's the way to do it.
oh,
And then
wow.
I
How did you
convinced-
roll it? How did you
yeah.
roll it into the tube?
So when you are folding it up, so
So it's
we would pull it off and pull it straight to the outfield.
Yeah.
And so then you would accordion style it
Yeah.
as you were rolling it.
Wow.
So
that
it would
is-
come
Seems
off
more
come
difficult.
off quicker.
I'd like to
So,
see that.
This is something then towards the end of my time in the Florida State League, we would, because, I mean, when a storm comes, it comes quick and you are in danger of losing the game because it rains so hard for about 15 minutes.
And then it goes away. and
We
it's
would
sunny.
have the gator would
Mhm.
latch on and then it would pull the tarp. And so it would go.
Nice.
So they would drive straight out to the outfield while the tarp comes on. And then there are people that arrange it. But
Nice.
We got to be smart
That's
here.
having it down to it. That's
but
having down to
after
science
after
there.
like 4 days on a 7-game homestand when it's rained every day,
Mhm.
that tarp is smelly and it is
Well,
heavy.
sure.
Disgusting.
That's why everybody one time should be able to do a tarp pull to realize how fun it is. And then that one time where it's not fun and you get caught under the tarp is a scary thing.
Yeah. And everybody just laughs at you.
I lost an intern.
Guy, you're a rookie.
I had
we
an
had-
intern who she was not as fleet of foot.
She died?
She went down and because it was raining so hard,
oh, no.
they pulled it another like 15 yards
Oh.
before people realized that she was down under the tarp.
Oh no.
Oh,
And-
wow.
Thankfully, for her sake, no one caught it on video. She crawled out of
I was
the
going to
side.
say, yeah, it's the only thing you could do.
Yeah.
Speaking of crawling out of the tarp, we were in Hastings putting the tarp on. Snake comes bolting out of it as we're
Nice.
undoing the tarp. And you talk about pitter patter with Patrick Mahomes' feet. Yeah, I
Where's
like the
Snake?
little pitter patter getting the hell out of there.
Because you don't know where it is.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was freaking out.
Whoa. Boomer and Phil are out at CBS.
Oh, yeah, you didn't see
JJ
this.
and Matt are in.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just need JB to retire so Nate can take over hosting duties.
JJ Watt, how do you feel about that, Josh?
So
I don't watch CBS.
Matt
pregame
Ryan,
anyway, so-
JJ Watt, Nate Burleson, coach, and James Brown.
I'm glad they
So that
still
means
have
that
Bill
Fox will add somebody.
The only pregame I watch for NFL Sundays is, well, I do turn on NFL Network for a little while, but then I just watch the countdown for Red Zone when it gets about under 8 minutes.
Mm.
And it's playing that NFL film
I
music.
haven't done a lot of the network pre-games lately.
They don't
Yeah.
have this anymore. Fox had a good run where it was like, his name, I can't remember his name right now.
Howie
The-
Long.
The comedian.
Oh, Frank Caliendo,
No,
your buddy.
Terry Bradshaw.
Rob Riggle.
Oh, yeah.
He would do a bit.
Mhm.
Then another group of lesser comedians would do a bit, and then they'd pick games, and then it would be new. And I'm
Now,
like,
that
okay,
did start with Caliendo because remember, he used to
Yeah.
do his imitations of picking games. And then, Rob Riggle ended
Yeah.
up doing it after that.
Comedian. Do you guys watch American Idol?
My wife does.
I do.
Okay, so
She hates it.
so they like
She watches
they
the
like
shit.
got rid of Katy Perry, right?
Yeah.
Like
They
Luke
did?
Bryan,
Oh, I didn't know
Bryan
that.
kicked Katy Perry out.
Oh, didn't know that.
What? I
Um,
thought she was still on there.
Is it Lionel Richie?
they are-
still? Is he,
Oh,
is
she.
that-
No, he's on there.
He's
He'll
that
be
one,
there
okay.
all night.
all night long, baby.
Damn it, I didn't text you that all weekend.
Well, they didn't win.
Dave Chappelle is being mentioned.
Oh,
For
really?
American
For
Idol?
American
I would
Idol.
watch.
Okay,
if
he
he's
has
in,
to be
I'll
the
watch.
mean
That's what we
Yep.
need.
I will watch it.
That's
I
what we
will-
need. That's
that'd be
what
the
that
ultimate
show needs.
comeback.
They need mean people.
Yep.
They obviously have so many people up there who are horrible at singing, and they don't tell them.
Nope. They're like,
They don't
you
tell
know
them.
what? You did good.
It's like if you just
did
kind of
really
rein
good.
in this part of what you're doing. No. Tell them they suck and go
Yeah,
home.
they would have told William Hung that he's got something.
Yeah,
Like,
they would
oh,
have.
there's something there, man. Don't give up on the dream.
That would be huge. That'd be huge for that show. They
I
should
would
absolutely do
tune back in.
That would get people to watch.
Oh, I would. I'd be in.
If after 20 plus years of singing competitions on our television, you have not been found or discovered, it might not happen for you.
It's not in.
Maybe that's not the route. Just go to
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just, and there's no shame in that. None-
Exactly.
None at all.
Exactly.
No,
at all.
not everybody needs to be a star.
Well, the world needs ditch diggers too.
The show, the show has not produced a star in
Yeah.
10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's been a long
Ooh,
time.
Well,
Last,
remember the runners up were always doing better than the actual winners anyway.
Scotty McCreery.
Maybe. What was that, like 2010?
Because they had a stretch where it was Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood,
Yeah.
Daughtry.
Don't forget Ruben Studdard.
Ruben Studdard.
What was his
Aiken,
buddy?
Clay Aiken
Clay Aiken.
Yeah, Clay Aiken did more than Ruben Studdard did.
hosted Wheel of Fortune Live here in Omaha.
Ruben did a lot of national anthems, if I am not mistaken.
Did you go
after
to that?
No.
Ruben.
Yeah, you're right. They haven't like a
Fantasia
well-known.
Barrino.
That was one.
See, now you're starting. I don't even know who that is. I don't remember.
Like if
that.
you're really going to go crazy about
You've
the
seen
show,
her sing the national anthem.
Oh, okay.
At some place
Chances are
before.
probably
Yeah.
like R. Kelly and P. Diddy would be good as judges. Just mix it all up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I think you're right. But it's been a while since they produced somebody that went on and has become a well-known
Why is
person.
it so hard to find the winner?
I know.
List of the
They make
They
it
don't have a
so
website?
difficult. I mean, there's a Wikipedia page, but it gives you all of the finalists.
Yeah, I don't need to know that.
I don't know any of these people.
List of Idols winners.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all over the globe.
Nope. Don't
Well,
care about those.
America's a part of the globe. We'll scroll down here.
Anyway, yeah, it's a bad show.
Jordan Sparks,
It is.
Scotty McCreery, Philip Phillips. Remember that Olympics?
He was in our basement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Philip.
Oh, that's right. He had the
Phillips.
one song that was used in the Wells Fargo commercial.
Make
This place your home.
Mhm. Oh yeah, he made a lot of money off that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I am going to Zach Bryan tonight. That'll be fun.
So, by the way, I heard
He's
that
gonna be
with
ripping it.
the people that you're going with. I heard that yesterday, and they were talking about the concert on Tuesday. And I said, no, Connor's not going to that concert because Connor and I are doing baseball.
Connor's doing
Tuesday.
baseball if
Is Connor leaving
weather
me?
permits.
Is Connor leaving me on Tuesday?
So let me ask you something. I was telling the story. So Zach Bryan and his group.
Went out to Elkhorn.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is extremely popular.
Incredibly.
Why?
I don't.
Yeah. What's he do that the other?
But he's not like on the top of the charts.
I think he hit the right kind of music for the right kind of people at the right time.
Okay.
You know, it's
I think you're probably right.
he's got something to his personality too. Like he's kind of he's good. He's pretty good on Twitter.
He looks
Okay.
like they showed. I was watching highlights of his show on Friday in Des Moines, and so he's like, "Hey, there's bad weather in the area, so we're going to keep you here for a little bit longer. We're just going to keep playing." He walked off the stage, and he has his guitar he put in the case. He just gave it to a fan and just kept walking.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
well, that'll make you popular too.
What?
You're just a good dude.
and then he's got the girlfriend who's she's on the bar stool.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Which bar stool?
The bar stool.
The bar stool?
She's one of the
thing.
Barstool.
Yeah, she's on the
She
bar
works for
stool.
Chicken
Portnoy?
fry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chicken fries.
Okay.
I saw her doing a bunch of TikToks about how I guess she's got her dog with her or something like that, and she was trying to find a dog park, and she was like, Omaha is the best place ever. She apparently found Gene Leahy Mall over
Okay.
the weekend, and she was very excited. She was
sure.
like, I love this place. And then she's got a podcast with this crazy lady, and they're apparently bringing the show to Omaha at some point because she just has fallen in love with Omaha.
That's awesome. He sells out everywhere he goes.
He does. I mean, he's doing 2 nights, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's wild.
What's with the hair and the teeth?
He's just a normal looking guy.
No, are you talking about her?
No, Zach.
Oh, okay.
Well, he says that. He's just a normal looking guy.
No, he is like if you see him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he doesn't.
He's just a guy.
He
Yeah.
looks like a guy that
Just
might
a
be
dude.
confused on some other tours as a roadie.
And when he gets
That's a good point.
arrested, he
Yeah.
gets arrested for like regular things, not problematic.
So he's
things.
one of us.
Like
Yeah.
getting pulled over because he went a little fast.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all.
Oh.
That's
okay.
all.
So we can all relate to the guy.
Little vandalism here or some stuff or whatever it might have been. I don't. Yeah,
Maybe
but it's not like throwing a
lit-
chair off a roof.
littering.
So,
or
Are you
know.
going because you wanted to, or you're going as a +1?
I'm going as a +1, but
Okay.
I like it. I went to the one in Lincoln last year, I guess too.
Yeah.
It was right before volleyball time, volleyball day, and so yeah. So this will be. I don't know.
That's awesome.
The list is very short of people that I've seen twice in concert, and he will join that list
Ooh.
tonight.
nice.
Okinawa, Japan's own.
Actually, this will
Zach
be the
Bryan?
third time.
Yeah.
I saw him at
Born in a military base.
West
over-
Fair?
Right.
Yeah, West Fair. Yeah,
God,
I at West Fair.
I have not been to West Fair
Right-
since
right-
Edgefest.
you are
Right
a-
before he blew up. Yeah,
You are a groupie.
I am a +1.
See, this is a good segment of bands because we're in a good music community. Groups that you saw here first before they blew up.
No doubt.
I'm gonna tell you, Lizzo. So Lizzo was just starting
Lizzo
to pick
at
up,
Maha?
and Lizzo
Yeah.
played Maha,
Yeah.
and she was just starting to get recognized. And then after that, it was like this gigantic tour, and
Yeah.
she,
She was on Billboard.
started messing with Vikings.
Yeah, it was
players.
definitely right around that time where she was like in the process of blowing up.
Zach Bryan's a good one because I've heard stories about the West Fair was like just raucous.
Well, it was a total disaster. Yeah,
West Fair.
It took 17 hours just to get up that stupid road.
Well, there is
Oh,
only
yeah.
one road in and one road out to
and
West Fair.
especially during Edge Fest, you get there because they'd have their big headliners towards the evening, but they would sneak in some decent ones early on, so you felt like you had to get there early. Oh, by the time the main headliner came on, that place was a absolute circus. It was fun, but don't remember a lot of it either.
Nice.
Well, have fun tonight.
Thank you. I will enjoy.
What do you wear to a Zach Bryan
That's
concert?
a good question. I haven't really thought about that yet.
Do you go Chuck Taylor's or do you go boots?
I think Chuck Taylor's.
I don't have really either of
Do you
those.
have boots?
Like cowboy boots?
Yeah.
No, I don't have
Okay.
those.
I don't either.
Okay.
Probably just these pants and a different pair. Maybe these pair of shoes. Maybe this. Maybe just
The
all
zone,
of this.
Yeah, where the zone?
Yeah, maybe just this whole thing.
Wrap it up.
I
I
don't
think it
know.
would be okay.
Yeah.
Passes. You're not trying to impress anybody.
Nah.
You're already taken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's good.
Going for comfort.
Exactly.
There you go.
And to rock out.
Don't want to be too
I mean,
hot.
I would give you advice as a
Night
Swiftie.
revival.
If you wore that to a Taylor Swift concert,
Yeah, you'd be looked at.
Yeah, I need more pink and purple and
more bracelets.
light blue
Maybe some sequins if you could fit it in somewhere.
stuff on your face.
Mm-hmm.
stuff on my face. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I have the beard, but that's
Some-
really doesn't count.
Some cheek tattoos.
All right, well, have fun.
I will. It'll be a lovely night at the chai. Have a great day, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
That is the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Monday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
She has left a mark on the college game that no one else could ever claim. A big part of her story is that she went to Iowa and she didn't go to South Carolina. She didn't go to UConn. That was great for the sport. The only time I'm watching is if one of the local teams is playing. She made you want to watch, but you also could sit there and appreciate the greatness and how she changed the way the game looked on the floor.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Quiet weather to start the week. Monday, expect partly sunny skies in the morning, becoming sunny in the afternoon. A little breezy at times with west wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour at times. Highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
Host is roasting every morning.
How does Host Coffee Services provide the best coffee for your workplace? By finding the richest and most robust coffee beans from all around the world and bringing them to our Nebraska roastery, where your coffee is roasted fresh and delivered straight to you.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee Services is always roasting something good for you.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. With zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I never smoked a cigarette. How in the hell did I get lung cancer?
I don't smoke. I've never smoked. So I started Googling. One word just kept coming up, like it was in bold and red, and it was radon.
Radon is the number 2 cause of lung cancer.
Well, you don't know if it's in your home. You got to test. You can't see it. You can't taste it. You can't smell it.
What's your level? Radon Defense Midwest can help. Visit radonradio.com for a special offer. That's radonradio.com.
Children and families experiencing the crisis of homelessness have a place to call home when they come to Micah House. Now, you can help make a difference by attending Champagne and Diamonds, May 4th at the Mid-America Center. Enjoy a festive Kentucky Derby-themed evening with dinner, prizes, silent auctions, or enter the Diamond Raffle. All funds raised go directly to help the Micah House continue its mission. Visit themicahhouse.org/diamonds for tickets. A fun evening for a great cause. Attend Champagne and Diamonds on Saturday, May 4th.
Let's go on a fishing trip you will be talking about for years. The best walleye fishing trip ever. Join me, Crash Davis. We're going to travel to the walleye capital of the world, September 15th through the 19th aboard a deluxe motor coach. Travel with me to Ballard's Resort on Lake of the Woods. Pricing includes round-trip motor coach transportation, 4 nights lodging, 3 days of fully guided walleye fishing, and all of our meals. Go fishing with me, Crash. Your best trip ever. Sign up at ballardsresort.com. Ballardsresort.com. And set the hook.
Spring is sprung, and you know what? You need to look good. You need to get your fit looking like rad. And Lily Clothing and Well Suited can take care of you because you got prom, you got graduation, you got weddings, and you need to look your best. And you can look your best right now. Why rent a suit? Buy a suit. And you know what? You can get a suit for as little as $199 at Lily Clothing and Well Suited in the Linden Market, 132nd and West Dodge. Take care of yourself now. Why rent when you can buy this season at Lily Clothing and Well Suited?
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Monday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson back with you from quite the weekend around here. A lot of bad, a lot of good, and I'm sure there was some, there was a lot of waiting, I guess, in between as well with tarps and things of that nature. Let's set things up first. Mike Schaefer will join us at 11:30. He is offering Kool-aid for anybody who is interested.
Oh.
And Sam McKewon will join at 1. He wrote today about Nebraska's offense and its capabilities, of course, under Dylan Raiola, which will, of course, be the topic of the day today. Elsewhere, we'll talk about, obviously, the spring game and Dylon and all the things that happened and injuries as well. Some other stuff going around as well. We'll jump into the baseball from over the weekend. Charles Barkley, continues to show why NBA on TNT is the best show on television. And Creighton with some basketball moves over the weekend. The draft finished up over the weekend. Major League Baseball, our long national nightmare of the uniforms, have been fixed. They heard you.
They said it couldn't be done. Not possible.
It's in the process, I guess, of being fixed. We'll have that today on the show as well. That's the lineup powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Want to hear from you guys? 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. You can call or text that number. Email Connor, Josh O at 1620thezone.com. Tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer at producer_Josh on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. And we, of course, say good morning to our YouTube streaming audience, YouTube /1620 The Zone TV, and of course, conveniently located on our website. Also, on our website, we'll continue to kind of point you that way if you're looking for a good hub for places and things that you can help out, causes that you can help out during this tough time for parts of our community. And really, it encompasses all of us, all of our community. You can head to 1620thezone.com/tornado relief. There is convenient locations there where you can donate to any of the various causes going on around the community right now. The Nebraska Tornado Recovery Fund, the American Red Cross, and the Salvation Army they are all up there for you guys. 1620thezone.com/tornado relief. If you can spare a few bucks or time, the community, of course, greatly appreciates it. Still ongoing efforts to clean things up, and if we're just talking about the Omaha area, the metro area, Elkhorn, Bennington, Blair, and then excuse me, crossing over into the state of Iowa, and then just some crazy video from over the weekend. I mean, we do live in the world of the social media age now, and it definitely gives you a better sense. We handle severe weather around here like most Midwesterners do, right? We go outside and we take a look, and we're like, this doesn't seem like much. Nothing's happening at my house, so it can't be happening, really. And then you pull up Twitter, and you pull up social media, or wherever you go to find, to connect with people, and you see these absolutely harrowing images from, off Highway 6 in Lincoln, and a building getting just completely wiped out, a business getting completely wiped out, and the video from the train on highways. I mean, absolutely nuts. And so, for us in Omaha, we look at that and we're like, oh, it's probably time to take some cover here, which I honestly think is pretty good. And our preparedness and unfortunate dealings with things like this before made it so, the Omaha Metro didn't get out unscathed as far as property loss is concerned, but as far as, human life is concerned, made it out clean, which is a miracle considering all the damage that we saw from over the weekend. I mean, just crazy, horrifying stuff. Once again, that you don't have a really good grasp on until it arrives at your front door. And then all of a sudden it arrives at your front door. So if there's any listeners, who come to us for whatever it is they want to get, whether it's a laugh or sports talk sometimes, or
bad food takes,
some sort of relief during the week that that lost property over the weekend and had their lives completely upended, reach out our way, and we'd be, we'd love to connect. And of course, there's, if you guys want to get in on the help, there's 1620thezone.com/tornado relief, where there's plenty of options. And then, helping hands always been necessary as well. It's been cool to see how the community has really come together and immediately kind of, flock to the various locations to just say, hey, I'm here. What do you need? What do you need?
Yep. This is what we do.
Yeah.
This is,
bring your truck, bring your hands, whatever you got.
Bring your chainsaw.
Yeah.
We'll get through it together. That's what we do. Sobering bit of reality.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of there was a bright light, I think, to come out of a really bad weekend. I don't know about you, Josh. I guess we can kind of go through our experiences and what you saw and where you were on Friday afternoon. Like I said, it kind of, we knew that there was a severe weather chance and an enhanced chance as we went on throughout the day. And like I said, the images started to pop up. I was supposed to do PA for Creighton softball on Friday, and so I went over there, and they had moved the game time around a couple times, and they ended up kind of placing it in at 6:00 tentatively. And so I was down there an hour or two before, and then I'm seeing all these, I'm watching Bill Ramby, and you could tell, and he does a really good job because it's never like too serious, you never get the sense that it's like whoa, but also it's very well known, hey, this is a serious situation. And so I'm watching that stuff, and I'm seeing all the images come out from near where I live. I'm like, man, that's a narrow miss. Like 2.5 miles down the road or 3 miles down the road from where I live, and I'm downtown. And then all of a sudden the tornado downtown popped up. So I was bunkered in with the Creighton softball team, and was trying to figure out a way that they could play a game that night. And it became pretty clear after a little while there with the tornadoes in the area that, hey, we just need to probably push the brakes on this one tonight. Obviously the weather probably wouldn't allow them to do it anyway, and then they pushed it off to the next day. But what a wild experience. And still, there's people, like outside during the thing, and it's like, all right, guys, let's. I get it. It's Midwestern. Like nothing matters. Nothing could ever happen to me. But let's be safe here. Let's go inside and let's take care of ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, I was here with my fellow coworkers.
Did you head downstairs?
We headed downstairs. There was I was the guy who was, well, I'd really just like to bang this workout here real quick while it's just raining.
Shocking from
here.
Josh.
Yeah, shocking for me. And then it was pretty clear that I was in the wrong. So I decided, you know what, I will go downstairs. I realized the error of my ways, hung out, socialized, and then went back upstairs, tried to do what I could to help John land on sportsmanlike conduct on Friday. He was solo. Him and Nick were just trying to get through half an hour so they could get to 6 o'clock, and I was just trying to gather as much information as I could.
Yeah, I mean, we all turn into different things, when stuff like that happens. So whether it's try to spread information or whatever it might be, or just protect yourself. We fortunately live in a place of the country where homes and businesses are built with these types of precautions in place, like basements, things of that nature. And that saved us all. I mean, that saved our community on Friday, that's for sure. And then, just a kind of a rainy weekend in general with kind of more storms going through. But like I said, I mean, it was really cool. And it's funny. And of course we'll switch gears in the next couple minutes here and we'll talk about Nebraska's spring game, but their place in that whole thing, it's funny how it worked. And Nebraska has always been this kind of bonding thing for the state, whether, it doesn't matter what your allegiances are, you're probably a Nebraska football fan. It's like, all right, we got Jayskers, whatever, Democrat, Republican, we all like Nebraska football. And I think Nebraska football found about the only 4-hour window of sunlight to play their spring game on Saturday, which I thought was kind of fitting. It's just like everybody shows up and we're kind of reeling as a community. And, if you're driving into Lincoln, you're seeing the path of that one of the, tornadoes hit, and, you all gather up in Memorial Stadium and support your team. And then of course there's a talking point behind it as well. So I thought that was, kind of symbolic, I guess, of the weekend. It's like, yeah, it rained pretty much all weekend, coming off of a night of some really, really severe, devastating storms. And somehow Nebraska football squeezed in a little bit of light shed on the state. And then they literally got the sunlight. I mean, it was a nice day at the game. And those were about the only few hours during our weekend. So, we're coming together on this one as we always do, and we'll continue to help in any way we can. Like I said, I mean, if there's anything we could do, I know we have listeners in all those different areas. Like if there's anything that we could do to help, please do not be afraid to reach out. I know you have a lot of resources at your fingertips because this community is so good at coming together. But if you need an extra hand, whatever it might be, we'll be happy to either point you in the right direction or do that help ourselves. 1620thezone.com/tornado relief if you can either spare a few bucks or a helping hand for your brothers and sisters. Okay, off and running here on a Monday. Plenty of that will, I'm sure, come up during the show. We'll get into Nebraska's spring game. It was indeed a spring game, Josh. Dylan Raiola was a quarterback.
One of many.
He played for many teams, both red and white. But yeah, I think you got your guy. That's obviously,
seems like you might want to cultivate that one. Let that one grow.
If you're starting a radio show today, we're just following the Mad Lib that was sort of laid out for us. Hey, talk about the community for a couple minutes and then talk about Dylan Raiola.
And then Kenny Bell's potty mouth.
And he did say a bad word, didn't he?
He did, but there was a lot going on while he said it, so a lot of people didn't notice.
Okay, I didn't see it pop up on Twitter, and I thought, I was watching it, and I thought, did he just say that? And then I just moved on. I didn't even really. Did you rewind? And and take a look again?
I did. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because there was so much else happening at that exact instance that I said, wait, he didn't say it.
So we will talk about the Dylan Raiola show, which has officially left the station, coming back on the Connor Happer show on 1620 The Zone.
Dylan. The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Forget the drive to Colorado or Missouri. Stop into any Omaha 42 Degrees and indulge in a curated cannabis experience. Premium flower, cannabis, pre-rolls, and cannabis accessories paired with an elevated customer service experience. All are waiting for you at 42 Degrees. From novices to connoisseurs, we're here to elevate your cannabis journey. 42 Degrees, your destination for top-tier cannabis, second to none product selection, and exceptional service. By your mom's house.
Hey, Connor.
What's up?
So, you're getting an Auto Express Lane certificate in less than a year?
I need to put my career in the fast lane.
And Jenny, in just 5 months, you earned a veterinary assistant certificate?
It's kind of a pet project.
JC, is that
Blood? Yeah, I'll be certified as a phlebotomy tech in just 5 months.
A positive, JC? Earn a career certificate in less than a year. Get started at mccneb.edu/adults. Classes start June 5th.
This is me at MCC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Hey, baseball fans, are you ready to win big this season with the Royals and tickets for less? Then sign up today for the MJ Melendez Home Run Sweepstakes. For every home run hit by MJ Melendez this season, one lucky fan, you're going to score big with a signed baseball and a $50 Tickets for Less gift card. Swing for the fences and sign up now at ticketsforless.com/contest for your chance to win. Winners will be announced the day following a home run, and a multi-home run game equals multiple winners. So don't miss out. Learn more and sign up today at ticketsforless.com/contest.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I know we make fun of him a lot because he's a total idiot, but congratulations to our good friend Josh Peterson over the weekend.
Yes, I didn't know where you were going. There were a number of avenues.
Yeah, there's a lot of idiots out there, but he's our idiot.
That's right.
Josh Peterson ran 26.2 miles in 2 hours and 47 minutes over the weekend.
It's impressive.
And Nick still thinks he could eat a hot dog in 10 seconds.
Well, the bun was so chewy.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Congratulations to him. That was really cool. The picture of him crossing the finish line was sweet.
He set a goal and he did the damn thing.
Yeah, he takes it super seriously, and he's very, very good at it. And so he ran the Eugene Marathon over the weekend. I think is he out this entire week or is he back at some point?
What's his vacation board say?
Yeah,
he's out all week.
He's out all week.
Yeah, I'm filling in for him on Friday.
Now he'll be recovering and gallivanting around the Pacific Northwest. But a hearty shout out to our good friend, unsportsmanlike conduct co-host Josh Peterson, who ran a marathon in a very, very fast time. I will not say that I can run a marathon.
Okay.
So just making sure that everybody knew about that.
Crystal clear on this.
Cannot run a marathon.
Can land a plane.
Under the right circumstances. Once again, under the right circumstances. Planes are amazing, though. I watched some planes take off, like, right, because I was kind of downtown. They just took off right before the storms hit. They're like, well, we got to get out of here. They're like, and probably a good thing that they did, because the airport got some pretty serious damage on that other side there. But yeah, good job. Job well done from our good friend Josh Peterson. Okay, the spring game happened. Well, one of the things we usually do the Monday after a game is we say, who won? Josh, who won? You got a 50-50 shot. Who won?
The white team.
You're right. You got it. The flip of the coin came up your way.
Whew.
Nice job. The white team won.
That's right. Big day for the whites.
Bonus points. The score.
24-21?
25-21.
That's not a football score.
25-21. Nope, people score 25 sometimes.
Apparently.
Sometimes you get a 2-point conversion to make it 22, and then you get a field goal to make it 25. It happens.
All right.
But the score is not the story. This is about another guy. Dylan Raiola.
Oh, sure, but 12 times a year when we try and tell you that, no, the team looks pretty good even though they lost, you tell us, no, the score is all that matters.
So the stats are, you have to add up what he did for the white team and what he did for the red team. Dylan was much more efficient for the red team, by the way.
Interesting.
6 of 6 for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. And 10 of 16 in a pick and 121 yards for the... Was he sandbagging the white team?
Apparently, clearly.
And he still couldn't do it. Also, not about the stats, Josh. Because Nebraska has themselves a quarterback. Now, as our good friend Steve Sipple would say, you got to be careful here. You got to be a little bit careful, considering the circumstances. But my takeaway is, I assume the same as I've read and listened to a little bit of the reaction from over the weekend. Did the pod with Mitch this morning. And so, like, I assume my reaction is the same as everybody else. I obviously, like, when you get a 5-star quarterback, you are infatuated with the idea that he can make these plays and make these throws that aren't there for other people and that exists for him and all that stuff. Like, and I still am. So I think the ceiling is obviously really high for him. I went into the game because he's a freshman quarterback, working on the general idea of, he's a freshman quarterback, right? So we're going to get a whole bunch of wow stuff. But it wouldn't surprise me if the real guts and the real bones of being a quarterback lag behind a little bit, which isn't a problem. It's not a problem. Once again,
right.
When you get a 5-star quarterback, your ceiling goes up exponentially. But I think my biggest takeaway from Saturday was that the floor has gone up dramatically with Nebraska football this year, because you're going to have exceedingly competent quarterback play, exceedingly competent. And that, I know it doesn't sound like the biggest Kool-aid in the world, and I'm not talking about him winning Heisman's or whatever it is, but competent quarterback play makes me a really happy boy, Josh. And so I was just so impressed with the simple stuff. He just looked so advanced, and I'm not talking about the throws. Like, the throws were, I knew the throws were going to be there. I knew he was going to make the throws. I knew he was going to make a couple splash plays in the game. And so what I was looking for is some of the other stuff. And a lot of times for a quarterback his caliber, the simple stuff actually ends up being the advanced stuff. It's not a linear growth path for a quarterback like that. But he had poise, he had leadership, he had this kind of sense of calm, but also being able to kind of press the right buttons when they wanted to go tempo and stuff like that. Like when you think of a freshman his caliber, you're going to get some wow stuff, and we certainly got some wow stuff. But he looked amazingly competent. His effect on Nebraska's offense compared to last year will be far-reaching because of his competency. Nebraska's ceiling is related to his ceiling. Those ceilings are tied together. But Nebraska's floor is related to the little stuff that he'll do. And he'll get the ball out quick. He'll put it on target. He did throw behind that one time, and it led to interception. Was it his fault? No, of course not. The guy had his hands on it. Not his fault. He took responsibility for it, though, after the game. Little stuff like that. And so, yeah, I from that perspective, I don't think it could have gone much better for him. He had a couple throwaways that I was like, whoa, what are you throwing the ball away for? This is a spring game, and you have a giant arm. Like, you're supposed to throw it 80 yards down the field and just see what happens. No, he made the smart play. Nebraska can, in a real life game situation, maybe that's on 3rd and 12, and you avoid disaster, and you punt, and you live to fight another day. That is the stuff that really fired me up.
That was what that drive towards the end of the first half, where Matt Rhule, they were like on their own 6, and then they had a false start, which backed them up 3 yards instead of 5. I don't know why, but Matt Rhule said, yeah, I'm not looking for him to score a touchdown here. I'm looking to see if he can get 2 or 3 first downs, and we punt the ball and we win it. Because today, everybody wants to see him go 99 yards, but in October, November, I need him to get 2 or 3 first downs, and we punt the ball away and fight another series.
Because the challenge with quarterbacks of his caliber is that they have such a big arm and they have so much belief in themselves that they sometimes think they're capable of things that just get them hurt in college football games, especially at his age, right? I've made this throw before. I've leaned on this in my ability in the past to either extend plays or throw the ball down the field recklessly in a high school game. So why can't I do it here? I was the best player, and I can make all of the throws. And so a lot of times what you'll see with freshmen is you'll see it with, really talented guys beyond their freshman year. They will make mistakes because of their capabilities. And to have him, when he's supposed to be a senior in high school, have that much calm, and we'll see what happens when the lights are on, right? But he doesn't seem like a guy that's all, he's gonna freak out when the lights turn on in September or August 31st. No, I mean, if it's not there, it's not there. We'll live. We'll fight another time. I'm not saying he's going to be devoid of mistakes, but how much he is devoid of mistakes is going to tell a lot of the story about this season. And what we saw was a great glimpse into how few mistakes he's going to make. Nebraska turned the football over 31 times last year. 31 times. So it was always going to be better. But, I mean, he has the look of a guy who could obviously make the splashes, but will also protect Nebraska, understanding what's around him and the capabilities of his team. And that his defense, should be pretty good as well. Josh, let's head to the video here. So if you're prepared for that, when you are, just let me know.
I am. I believe myself to be prepared.
Okay, hit buttons, smash those buttons a little more. See what happens.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So here is Matt Rhule. We'll have several video. Once again, join us on YouTube or 1620thezone.com. We're trying to do this thing where we just, instead of just playing the audio and we sit here and we stare off into space while listening to the audio and you watch us, we're trying to help out the YouTube crowd a little bit. So join us there. We'll have video for you guys. This is, of course, courtesy of Nebraska Athletics. Here's Matt Rhule. The question is in here. You'll hear it from Brian Christopherson. I think it was a really good one, and it really stumped Matt Rhule. Was that a good representation of how Dylan Raiola had been performing all spring. I thought that was asked very smartly by BC. Here is Matt Rhule.
A pretty fitting summary of Dylan's spring. Is that a pretty fitting summary of Dylan's spring?
That's a great question. I don't know how to answer that, to be honest with you. Usually you don't get tongue twisted very often, but I think
because what he could have said was,
yes,
yeah,
of course,
he's really freaking good, and I don't know how you guys don't know this yet, but he didn't. So we'll continue on. Here you go, Matt.
Dylan's had a very good spring. The plays I liked. I was up. That's a great question. I don't know how to answer that, to be honest with you. Usually you don't get tongue twisted very often, but I think Dylan's had a very good spring. The plays I liked. I was up doing the TV at one point. That one where we kicked a field goal that we missed. You could see he wanted so badly to throw the ball back across the middle of the field as he was scrambling, and he didn't. The one scramble he in's probably a sack. But he's got two hands on the ball as he's running. So it's gonna be the little things with Dylan, not the big things, right? He's got a great feel for the game. He's got a big time arm. He's calm. It's gonna be the little things. It's gonna be protecting the football, taking three, managing the game. I thought it just felt like he did a lot of those things, but he hasn't done all of them. He's grown as the spring's gone on. So he, like all the rest of our players, I think, had a chance today to just improve on what they did last week, and I thought in a lot of ways he did.
The little things, not the big things. And that's basically what I was saying before. I mean, we know he could do the big things. We know he had. That's not the part that's so exciting to me yet. It will be. Mm-hmm. It will be, and at some point he's going to have to bail Nebraska out.
There will be a time for bleep it Trey Palmer down there somewhere.
Absolutely, and they might have that combo with Jalen Lloyd, as we saw it on display a little bit on Saturday. But I was blown away. I guess is strong because I don't know what I expected, but he did the operational thing so well, and that is going to fuel. Like I said, his effect on the team is wide ranging, but from, to put it into one category, it's this. Nebraska's floor is astronomically higher than it was last year because they have this guy at quarterback. Their ceiling is quite a bit higher as well, but Nebraska's floor is significantly higher because he's not gonna put the ball in harm's way too much. Once again, never say just point blank that he's not going to put the ball in harm's way.
I did notice there was one snap mishandled that
he
immediately dove on and didn't try and do anything more than dive on the ball.
But he's got the accuracy, he's got the touch, all that stuff in the passing game. But I'm just thinking operational stuff. How do we get guys and he went the wrong way on a play action, and I don't know if that was him or the design or whatever it might have been for the play there. But like there will be things that pop up, but remember how Nebraska's offense, and part of this is because you played three different quarterbacks and you didn't really know who you were last year.
Yeah.
Remember how Nebraska's offense was just so frantic, and it just felt like they were always trying to figure something out where they could, find a 50-yard deep ball down the field. Like this is a group, we'll talk about the running game during the show as well. If you can complete short passes, which I saw no reason to believe that he won't be able to do that. If you can complete short passes and get things going, Nebraska's going to have long drives this year. They're going to be able to matriculate the ball down the field quite well. And if you pair that along with less turnovers, significantly less turnovers, maybe cut them in half or more, whatever. And
the defense get a couple,
and that defense, you're really cooking with fire. Let me go back to just real quick the the drive chart from last year, just so I can remind you guys how crappy it was.
Oh man.
So we're talking about matriculating the ball downfield. Nebraska averaged about 5.4 plays per drive last year. Plays per drive, only 5.4.
That can't be very good.
20% of their drives ended in 3 and out. That's not just how many times they punted. That's how many times they went 3 and out. It was a boomer bust offense.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a boomer bust offense, and it will not be a boomer bust offense. So that's where my hype is. If I don't sound excited, I apologize, because I really, really am.
Don't put it on the internet that I was underwhelmed.
I am so excited for competency at that spot. You know, that's where I'm at. A couple texts from you guys. But Connor, he fumbled a snap. Josh mentioned that.
I did. We brought it up.
He did. But
they didn't fumble 8 snaps like last
spring. Did it end in a turnover?
It did not.
No. Just a little loss of yards. And I mean, that's where, we want to talk about his ceiling. That's a whole different conversation. I mean, his ceiling, let's say they botched 2 snaps in a row and they're in 3rd and 17. Like, okay, you have the floor part, which is, we'll get a few yards here. We'll dump it down. We'll run a draw play. We'll get to 4th and 14 or 4th and 10, and we'll just boot it. Or if you feel like the moment's right, let him cook. He's got that in his game too. So you got options, right? That's just something. We'll talk about Nebraska's offense in totality a little bit later in the show, but they have options, which opens everything up. We'll talk about that coaching staff as well, because it feels like a team that's pretty well self-scouted. From Dan.
Hi, Dan.
On the text line. Calm down. He didn't even run the option. Kidding, of course. Thank you for mentioning that you're kidding. I would have taken that very seriously. He did not run the option. He did. I mean, he did run a version of the option. Run pass option.
He opted to pass.
He opted to pass. Yep. So let's roll this thing, Josh. Hype train's off and running. We got Iowa fans that are scared. Like Bill Moose said, Ohio State, Urban Meyer's running scared right now. Like, I don't know. This'll save this for when Nebraska's, going into the Iowa game 4-7 or something like that. But like,
no,
the league,
we're done with that.
There's no division anymore. But like, I think there's been this kind of thing under the surface with the league where it's been like, man, if Nebraska just somehow figured out to get out of their own way, we'd be in trouble. We'd be in real big trouble, because that'd be another team that's just right in the mix automatically. Nebraska may have figured out a way to get out of their own way. They did it the hard way and got a 5-star quarterback, but they appear to be a team who is capable of getting out of their own way. The simple stuff. It was a great debut. It was a great start for Dylan Raiola, who, yes, is going to be your starter, in case you were wondering.
I know
Heinrich Harburg took the first series.
He took the first series, and he looked a lot better than I thought he would in that game.
I think that's a great example of what we're going to talk about with the offense. They have a good understanding of what each of those guys can do. He definitely has developed.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, that's not his style to throw, short passes and move him down the field that way. He's more of a boom guy, but obviously he's got some bust in there as well, but he's gotten better as well. We'll hear from Schaefer at the bottom of the hour on all of this stuff, and I want to get your thoughts. So bring them to us at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed, and get into the offense in general. And I want to tell you, coming back next with a little bit more video, who my new favorite player is. That's right, Josh.
Oh.
I have a new favorite football player.
Wouldn't be the Monday after the spring game without that.
That's exactly right. Coming back on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
It's golf season, and that means it's time to start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa. It's sports betting the way it should be. The odds makers with the lowest holds and the best odds for every tournament. Plus, high betting limits, exceptional customer service, and more. Fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime. It's never been easier. Get ready for all the biggest golf tournaments with Circa Sports Iowa. Visit circasports.com today. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Because I spit hot five.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, a couple things from you all. Y'all, as
yeah.
some say. Question from the text line from the 402.
402.
Honest question. Will Raiola have Heisman odds at the beginning of the season? Not trying to fuel Kool-aid or say he has a chance to win, but I just wonder if he'll have odds. Let's head over to the FanDuel Sportsbook. I imagine since he is a quarterback at the Power 5 level, he'll pop up on here somewhere. Yes, he has them.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I wonder if it moved over the weekend. I didn't care to look. Dylan Raiola, if you'd like to bet on him to win the Heisman right now, you can you could place a $100 bet that would profit you $15,000.
Hello.
Plus
I could use $15,000
plus 15,000. He has the same odds as the following people.
Oh, okay. This is good comps. Okay.
Tyler Van Dyke, Ollie Gordon, Graham Mertz, Julian Sayin, and then some other people. Oh, I don't really.
What are you saying?
Julian Sayin. Current Heisman
favorite
odds leader
Quinn
and Carson. Quinn and Carson.
He's got to fix that lollipop head of his.
Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck. Dylan Gabriel plus 1,000. Will Howard plus 1,300. Where's let's see, who am I looking? Yeah, Drew Aller plus 4,000. Where's Shador plus 4,000? Shador plus 4,000
or a sandwich.
Platcat writes in on Twitter.
Hi, Platcat.
At Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Would you rather have a sandwich or a Heisman Raiola ticket? Right, they're naming Heisman after the Raiola now. So a Raiola Heisman ticket. I think I'd still rather have a sandwich.
I think so. This year.
You guys have to understand how much I prioritize my sandwiches, though. In which high standard I hold my sandwiches.
It is important.
It's important to note that.
Guaranteed sandwich is more valuable than a lot of other things.
I think so. Like you're getting a sandwich. I don't know honestly if you could convince me that anybody, would beat the sandwich at this point in the Heisman odds.
Unless it was going to be somebody with like, hey, I'm from the future and I'm telling you that a guy with long odds is going to win the Heisman.
Yeah,
you're going to want a ticket.
If there was a time traveler, he hopped out of a portal and he was like, hey, look, this is the guy. Then I'd probably be like, okay, fine. I will sacrifice this sandwich and place a bet on whichever player told me. Jeffrey writes in on YouTube.
Hi, Jeffrey.
I am getting excited. Looks like the O-line was in the right spots. The wide receivers were blocking downfield. Also, I found that the tight end group will be our offensive hero this season. Thoughts? Yes, I do have thoughts.
Oh, okay.
I will say this. Thomas Fidone, who we'll play a video from Rhule later on in the show about what he had to say about Thomas Fidone. But the question was, hey, and it was Simple who asked it. Hey, does Fidone look more explosive to you? That was my exact takeaway from seeing Thomas Fidone. He does. And what Rhule's answer was, like I said, we'll play it later, but like to get the bullet points out there, he is now stacked healthy camp on healthy camp, or healthy season on healthy camp, right? And that's super important. Healthy camp on healthy season on healthy camp now for the spring. And so it looks like he has regained a little bit of that explosiveness. And yeah, I think that could be a true helper in this room. They want to occupy the middle of the field. I think they're going to have some pretty good wide receivers. That would be a guy that could benefit greatly from, it all ties back to our good friend. Where is he? Young.
Dylan.
Thank you. Yes, it all ties back to him.
Always does. Or always will.
But like I said, Josh, I got a new favorite player.
Okay, this is exciting.
It is. People often ask me all the time, who's your favorite this? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite number? Who's your favorite player? And I say, what a stupid question. I don't have any favorite players. But this year I do. This year I do. Let me he introduced himself to you this weekend. And obviously the things that he did in the game were very important. But I'm more interested in the things that he said after the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Ja'Cory Barney.
Kickoff return was crazy, bro. Like the kicker, I thought he was my teammate, so I was gonna get ready to celebrate with him. And I seen him tackle me. I'm like, but I know it's gonna be in the meet. It's gonna be crazy, but they're gonna forget about all that week 2 when I'm taking it back on Colorado. So
did it? Yes. Sorry, I echoed there a little bit. So that's Ja'Cory Barney. He had a kick return in the game in which he could have very easily scored a touchdown, but he thought that Tristan Alvano, the kicker, was on his team, and he thought about just running up to him and maybe high-fiving like Quentin Newsom.
That was very evident that is exactly what happened.
Yeah. He ran right. He slowed down and ran right at him. He's like, we're friends. I'm about to score in the spring game. This is awesome. I'm on TV. And then Tristan Alvano was like, no, I'm going to tackle you. And then he looked at him. I love that. It was a great spring game play. So I'm counting it as a touchdown. So not only did he score a touchdown via kick return in the spring game, which is like
Hello.
Whole world opened for us now.
That's one of those where you're like, do I get excited because it happened, or do I go, spring game? What do I do? What do I do?
To be fair, I believe he made a horrible mistake on the next kick return that he got, and like he bobbled the kick. I think it was Barney. He bobbled the kick, and then the off returner was like in his face, and he was like, "No, don't go, no." And he came out and he got to like the 7-yard line, and it was so horrible. But we like the good stuff. But how about that line? Yeah, that was good, but they're going to forget about all that when I'm taking it back in week 2 against Colorado.
He didn't say UTEP. No, he could have said UTEP.
No, he skipped right over UTEP.
Yeah.
He said, I don't care about you, UTEP. Ja'Cory Barney, number 1. That's my guy this year.
He's all right in my book.
Yeah, we like that. We appreciate that greatly. Question from the YouTube. Chance asks,
Hi, Chance.
Did he just make it personal? Maybe. It's personal.
I'm okay if he did.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'd love it to be more personal, honestly.
Did he make it?
Like I said, I want it to be nasty.
Nasty.
But so there's the explosiveness on the kickoff return, which is awesome. It's fantastic. But then there's also like, yeah, don't worry, I'll take one back against Colorado. Imagine if he actually does. Yeah.
Then we're going to ask him to say a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. He's going to have to talk a lot more after that. All right, a couple things from you guys from the text line here. We'll get to the downsides a little bit later, but you know, there was a few things. There was horrible injuries, which I mean, that's not good.
One of those is weird juxtaposition. Matt Rhule's in the booth, and
so weird.
Yeah,
he was like, he literally said, I hate that I'm up here right now.
Yep.
He was trying to jump out the window and parachute down to the field. Yes. And we'll also maybe talk about that in conjunction with grass later on in the show as well. But the other bad thing was kicking from the 402. Connor, who do they have when Alvano starts shanking kicks this season?
Dylan.
Maybe that's your answer.
Can you kick a 40-yarder for us too?
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be. I'm sure they got a couple walk-on kickers down there. There doesn't appear to be really an answer to that question at this moment. So I think you're hoping that he figures things out. But that was definitely not a welcome sight in the spring game. Even though they do have Dylan, Nebraska will still be in various close games this year, and they will need their field goal kicking. In order for the whole formula to work, in order for like Nebraska to matriculate the ball down the field and feel comfortable when they get beyond the 35-yard line and like not have Dylan throw it into a disaster mess down the field, you have to feel confident in your kicker that he's going to get you 3 points when you line up for a field goal. And Nebraska can't right now. There's no way they can. So, yes, that is definitely a problem at the moment. Text from Aaron K.
Hi, Aaron.
Since he has Hawaiian roots, is a sandwich named after Dylan start with Spam?
Oh.
We make a Dylan sandwich. How soon is it before somebody actually does make a Dylan sandwich this summer?
There will be a restaurant round these parts.
Yeah,
with a Spam sandwich.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I don't have my sandwich joint open yet, but I'm getting close. The meat slicer needs to be dusted off, by the way. And then a couple questions about Fedoni in particular. I was going to save the Fedoni. Let's save the Fedoni thing. I'll get to your guys' questions about the whole tampering thing.
We're saving it. What, tampering?
Yeah. Did you hear what Rhule said? He goes, yeah, everybody was trying to get him off our roster.
Oh.
They were trying to Saban him. Mm-hmm. They were trying to Saban him like that Toledo guy who got drafted in the first round on Thursday night of the NFL draft.
That's right.
So that was certainly interesting. I'm more interested in what he could do for Nebraska rather than talk about how the tampering is so out there, because we already know that the tampering is out there.
It's a thing. Like,
glad he's still here
it and move on.
He's Nebraska through and through, baby, and that's a good sign as well. Tony asks, "What is on the Dylan sandwich?" Yeah, I mean Spam. It's like pineapple.
Gotta grill up a pineapple.
Where is Sipple? Where are you at when we need you here?
Pineapple.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, was Tony genuinely asking what is on a Dylan sandwich, or was he just setting us up to slam dunk the alley-oop.
Pineapple.
We're here for you either way because I think it works. All right, coming back, we'll talk to Mike Schaefer. Is his favorite player the same as mine?
Should be.
Also, Schaefer just he just wrote about Dylan. He mentioned to people that he was going to send some Kool-aid their way. And then he just posted a story on Nebraska 247 Husker247.com. And I don't know who this is a quote from, but the quote was Mahomes and Raiola, quote, "It's Kobe and MJ for real."
Whoa.
Who said that? I gotta officially find who said that because that's out of control.
I'm excited.
Players and recruits. Dave Merritt, the father of 4-star linebacker and official visitor Dawson Merritt, coaches the defensive backs for the Chiefs.
So he's got a little inside info on this.
In fact, the elder Merritt needed to get permission from Andy Reid to miss the NFL draft for the visit, but it did allow him to get eyes on Mahomes. Dawson Merritt, okay, this is from the recruit. Quote, "They are the exact same person. Me and my dad were talking and we were like, we should take this dude to training camp in July, dress him up as number 15 and all that. I'm telling you, fans wouldn't be able to notice. It's actually that trippy. They have all the same mannerisms. They walk the same. They throw the ball the same ways. It's Kobe and MJ for real. It's crazy." So it's not from the dad. It was from the recruit.
But I still like it. Still love hearing it. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel warm inside.
Mike Schaefer's next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
You get a lot of junk in your inbox. This one, not junk. Not junk at all. 1620 The Email. Exclusive content, contests, other stuff probably. Subscribe today at 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Quiet weather to start the week. Monday, expect partly sunny skies in the morning, becoming sunny in the afternoon. A little breezy at times with west wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour at times. Highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone.
Why is there so much pride at Wisner Pilger Elementary School in Wisner, Nebraska?
Our school was one of only 65 schools across the nation that was recognized for exceptional student performance and academic growth. Every day, our students, teachers, support staff, and parents step up to the challenge to make learning exceptional for every one of our kids.
It's something that makes our Wisner Pilger community very proud.
Tell us why you're public school proud at publicschoolproudnebraska.org.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo at Agave Azteca Mexican Bar and Grill in Ralston. Agave Azteca's menu boasts a wide variety of Mexican food options and is the perfect place to get your Cinco de Mayo fix. Don't miss out on their Mole Azteca, their crab favorite fajitas, or their signature Nachos Locos. And you won't want to miss on their new seafood options, like ceviche, shrimp cocktail, agua chile, and many more delicious seafood dishes. Check out their entire menu at agaveazteca.com. Agave Azteca, the shortcut to Mexico.
Let's go on a fishing trip you will be talking about for years. The best walleye fishing trip ever. Join me, Crash Davis. We're going to travel to the walleye capital of the world, September 15th through the 19th aboard a deluxe motor coach. Travel with me to Ballard's Resort on Lake of the Woods. Pricing includes round-trip motor coach transportation, 4 nights lodging, 3 days of fully guided walleye fishing, and all of our meals. Go fishing with me, Crash. Your best trip ever. Sign up at ballardsresort.com. ballardsresort.com. And set the hook. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Here come the Guardians.
Yeah, I have statistics to back up that we have people that listen.
Mike Schaefer.
Anytime there's sort of a debate as to who can do something, Happer would always put his name forth, for sure.
Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I could be a star.
All right, so when fans inevitably blame the media that the hype train got too off the rails and all of you are to blame for whatever bad happens during the season, we'll all be looking around like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Who? Us? Because it's the Croots that are responsible for the Kool-aid this time. Mike Schaefer joins us on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Schaefer, good morning.
Good morning. I just want to say, blame me. If it doesn't work out, I accept the blame. Just go after me. I am sitting here in beautiful, sunny South Lincoln at a Kool-Aid station, just ready to re-up and refill whoever stops by, looking for something refreshing to drink here this off season as we head into the summer and eventually the fall.
It's not your fault. You're just talking to people and they're saying the thing that, like, they're stirring up the Kool-Aid. Like, you're just, I don't even know what your responsibility is. You're just pouring the water into the jug and they're putting the sugar in.
Sure. That's all very true. But here's the thing. I believe in the Kool-Aid. Like, and I had my whole thing a couple of weeks ago, how I was like, they're going to be at least 8-4 or better. I believe in this team. And then of course, Saturday only reinforced it. So, and it is very, very important to acknowledge this critical thing from Saturday. It was all relatively set up to make the offense look good.
Definitely.
I mean, they didn't play a lot of defensive players, et cetera, et cetera. That being said, the bar is so low for Nebraska's offense that they hurdled it quite easily. And I think there's a lot of reason to be excited about what you saw on Saturday, regardless of the fact Nebraska did not do much defensively.
Okay. So at what point on Saturday did they hurdle the bar of last year's offense? Was it like the third play or like whenever, because they looked just comfortable just the entire way when Dylan Raiola was the quarterback, assuming that's pretty close to what we're going to get on offense from a personnel standpoint. I think they hurdled it at about 11:15 on Saturday.
Yeah, I think for me it was when that sequence kind of occurred where you had the Ja'Cory Barney touchdown, and then it was met with the Jalen Lloyd touchdown. Like, you could just kind of so there's two reasons I think to be excited, obviously, about Nebraska's offense. The first is Dylan Raiola appears to be a very, very capable freshman option to be a starting quarterback for you. So that's box number one. I'm sure we'll get back to that in a second. Here's the other thing. This wide receiver group is good. They are very, like, I feel like you and I and you and everyone and me and all the other people have all discussed this on radio, podcasts, written about it. People actually got to see it on Saturday. They have athletes at wide receiver. They have guys that can go make plays. They have guys that look comfortable adjusting when they need to on a pass. And now they have quarterbacks that look like they can get them the ball. And the whole offense just looked crisp because it was built on timing that wasn't there all of last year. And so I think these wide receivers, and I was already, completely over the moon about Jalen Lloyd, and Ja'Cory Barney was my number 2 player in this last class. So I was, you didn't have to sell me on those guys. But then they went out and they did it anyway. Happer, like they looked good, and they looked like pieces that can help right away. And then, oh, by the way, Isaiah Nair looked good. Looked fast.
Yeah.
He looked like a real helpful piece. And then physically, these guys are just in a better spot than where Nebraska was last year with their wide receiver core. Like, I just think it's a night and day difference of what the wide receiver group was a year ago in the spring game and what it looked like on Saturday.
Yeah, they're kind of deep too. There was a couple of guys that didn't even play in that game that we assume are going to be factors in the fall, like Malachi Coleman and Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. So, that was definitely one of my takeaways from it as well. But anyway, back to the subject. Okay, so Dylan Raiola, he was the player. He was the quarterback in that game. I don't think there were other ones, right? Was
it Dylan Raiola, or was it Patrick Mahomes, or couldn't we even tell it?
Exactly. It's like MJ and Kobe, according to some.
For real.
I was amazed at the competence. I like, when a freshman of that caliber is going to come in, like you know what he's going to do or what he can do as far as the ceiling is concerned, right? The throws that he's capable of making, but the little quarterback stuff, the poise, the calm, the ability to get his team in and out of stuff. And I don't know, man, he checked boxes that I don't think that I expected him to check. And I expected him to check a lot when we went into that thing on Saturday.
I thought you were going to say check boxes for things you didn't even have written down.
Yeah. Well, I mean probably.
Like, part of it for me, and again, like, we're going to get so far over our skis on this, but I think it's because we haven't really seen a quarterback that has this kind of arm talent. That 2-point conversion pass, I don't know if it looked like it on television, but live, that seemed to be such an incredibly difficult throw.
They showed another angle on TV, and only then you got the appreciation for what he did.
Like, the window that he threw that in, the way he manipulated the defense to create the window, the touch that he put on the pass, like, it was so perfect that I said out loud, I put on our message. Well, first I made a noise that I can't replicate. But then secondly, I said this out loud and then put it on my message board. I genuinely don't know that I have watched another Nebraska quarterback that could make that pass in the exact same way. And again, it was a 2-yard pass for a 2-point conversion, but the degree of difficulty in the window and how that was thrown and the level of like perfect that the ball was, to be in that area, it's just like there's not, like you have to go back to Joe Gann, and even then we're not talking about like elite arm, but it's just the ability to move the defenders, to do every little piece of that play.
Yes.
With all the other parts of your body before you even get into the throw. That was just he's 18 years old and he's doing that.
Yeah.
And again, it's a scrimmage. So we're way, way out in front of everything here, but this is the level of talent that Nebraska got when he made the decision to switch from Georgia to Nebraska last December.
But you do notice, I'm struck by this too, when he talks about it after the game. A lot of the quarterbacks, and especially those over the last few years, they often get up there and they talk about results and the what they did wrong and what they did right, and it's kind of boilerplate stuff. And he was asked at one point to go back through one of the plays, whatever it was, and he say, "Yeah, well, I saw the safety move off, and so I went to my next whatever." He'll take you through kind of the process of it. He just seems really advanced. That has such far-reaching capabilities and potential results for this offense, for what he just brings you on his floor. And I think that's my biggest takeaway from Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could see on full display that this was a guy who had been groomed to be a college level quarterback for that exact moment. I mean, all the little things, all the work that he's put in, to be able to look off, to recognize the progression, all of it. And then there's probably a third critical point that I didn't mention when I mentioned him, and then really quarterback play in general, and then the wide receivers. Here's another thing. The whole offense just looks exceedingly competent in a way that it did not a year ago. Like they had such simple plays that it just felt like they couldn't have run last year, where the timing of it looked really good. The concepts of what they were doing looked really good. Going back to the timing, that Heinrich Haarberg pass to Nate Borkacher, another just outstanding throw where he put it exactly where it needed to be in the right window at the right time in the right place. And that throw should have people feeling a little bit better about the idea of, if they go with Dylan Raiola, and I think they will, then Heinrich Haarberg's your backup quarterback. And if he needs to play, he's shown that he has the arm. The accuracy can always stand to get a little bit better, but the throw to Ja'Cory Barney, he had to adjust to it, but there was only one guy who was coming away with that throw. So there's just a lot to like about Marcus Satterfield's offense in year two that they just quite frankly could not run, could not do, didn't have the personnel, didn't have the pieces to do it, that suddenly looked simple, like genuinely simple. They were running video game concepts with their wide receivers for like the first time ever at Nebraska. You had trips to the right and you ran a guy at drag across with Ja'Cory Barney that was right there, and 3 levels of in breakers that attack the defense different ways. Like there's just stuff going on that you aren't normally used to seeing with Nebraska, let alone last year's version of the offense that is sort of hard to even describe after what we saw on Saturday.
I mean, they had to go away from everything. They had to. They were so boom
It's
or
like a hard
bust.
reset. It
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah. So on that, let me take it a step further then, because I had the same takeaway as you, and I was thinking about it from the perspective of Marcus Satterfield, who you mentioned. If you're Marcus Satterfield, who took a lot of crap from the fan base last year because of offensive play calling, when we, for whatever reason, some of those people, for whatever reason, failed to recognize that Nebraska couldn't get competent quarterback play from anybody that had asked last year. If you're Marcus Satterfield today or watching the spring game over again, are you just sitting there like, come on, what do you have anything to say to me now? You're like, why did they judge me last year with the quarterback room we had, and now they're going to have this? And there will still be judging, but I got to think that Marcus Satterfield is probably one of the people who feels the best coming off of Saturday, considering what the narrative was last year on him.
I feel like that probably lasts only as long as he puts on the tape and finds stuff that he needs fixed or that wouldn't work against, a better defense or what you will. I mean, knowing him just a little bit in the time since he's been here, he doesn't really strike me as a ever going to puff his chest out guy. He seems more like he's just waiting for the other shoe to drop sometime. So I would imagine that he would take this as the victory that it is, while immediately trying to figure out what they can build upon it, which is a good thing. I mean, you want that. You certainly want that from this coaching staff. Let me throw a question at you at this point, because normally I feel like we come out of the spring game and you kind of have to make some sort of explanation for why something looked the way that it did that wasn't positive. Outside of special teams, did you walk out of Saturday with a lot of questions about Nebraska football in a negative sense?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I don't know what you can do with the defense, but it wasn't because of anything that they did or didn't do.
Well, they didn't play anything.
Right, exactly.
They legitimately just did not play their best players.
Right, and it wasn't, like you said, a situation that was set up for them at all. So I don't know. I guess I still have just more general questions there, but nothing that impacted. Nothing was impacted about it on Saturday. But yeah, I mean, all the stuff, if you're doing it year over year, and like you said, maybe this is where we need to adjust our frame of mind here. But if you're doing it year over year, the wide receivers are infinity times better. The quarterback is infinity times better. The offensive line is definitely a step better. And so that should theoretically do enough on the offensive side of the ball, which is undoubtedly the biggest worry, and we just assume that the defense is going to be at the very least, good again, if not better than that.
Yeah, something that kind of got lost right at the beginning of the game, that a couple of inside runs out of the shotgun that they blocked up really well.
Yep.
That is one of those sort of plays, whether it's Emmett Johnson or Ramir Johnson, because they feel like the guys that would be better at it. Those, I think, could be pretty impactful when teams are sitting back trying to defend your wide receiver play. And you can hit with some of those quick hitters. And if your line moves the way that they did on Saturday, there's just a lot to like about the pieces that have been put together here in this offense. It didn't all come together at the same time, and there's a lot of areas where you're old and young, and an equal blend of it at like the wide receiver room. But just even the line play looked relatively crisp on Saturday.
I agree. What was your takeaway from Thomas Fidone, who, I mean, because the question was asked to Rhule after the game. I thought he looked more explosive than he has been. And as Rhule explained, that'll happen when you're just healthy for a longer period of time now. So the thought is, if you have these guys that can make plays for you on the outside and you have the quarterback that can get it to him, he probably stands to gain. He probably is, one of the biggest gainers out of this entire process, to where he could be a real factor in this offense. Like I don't think I've ever been higher on him than I am at this moment.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I would say at this time last year, even just sort of going into the season, I would have basically downplayed it with, the best thing that could happen here is he's just able to get through the year healthy. So he had kind of already exceeded my expectations last year, because I thought he looked pretty solid, and I just didn't know what to expect with him. And then, of course, in the spring game, he looked good. Like, this was a guy that was a really dominant high school player. Like, this was a huge recruiting win when it happened. This was probably the biggest Scott Frost recruiting win. Maybe Wandale, depending on how you want to, or one of those linemen. We could hash that out, but this was a huge, huge recruiting win because of the type of player he could be. And then you just got 2 straight years where he just never got to do anything, has to kind of start back over. And so I thought, you touched on this a little bit, but I thought Rhule's sort of comment about, like, this is an off season where he gets to build upon something kind of struck me like, I hadn't put it that way. But when you're just constantly just trying to achieve and see what you can do without having the basis of the background because you've been hurt, you can't really, you're starting at a different point. And he has a different jumping off point here. And he looked fluid, looked comfortable, and just another addition to what is a really quietly underrated wide receiver pass catching room. Like, I think Nebraska will enter Big Ten play, or enter the season, if you will, with one of the best wide receiver pass catching groups in the entire conference. And that's not something you've said a lot, or if ever.
Schaefer, we'll let you go on this. Give us a run through, I guess, of the recruiting weekend, which is taking a back seat to everything, even though it was notable, the people they had on campus. Like, how did everything turn out in that category?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they will get commitments out of this weekend. I don't know that we're going to hear of them, right away here today, but they'll certainly come out of it. Some of the big ones had several wide receivers on campus. Michael Terry the third is a 5-star from Texas that can play a number of offensive positions. He walked out of it, obviously raving about Dylan Raiola, but loves the staff, loves the energy of what Nebraska has put forward. Dawson Merritt, another one of the official visitors, the guy who's talking about, really made the strong comparison of Mahomes and Raiola. He said this, and I thought this is kind of the big takeaway. You can go to Nebraska and you can play early. That was one of the big knocks on Scott Frost, is that he didn't necessarily always put his young guys in and let them sink or swim. He did with some of them, but not all of them. Here, if you're a young guy and you see Ja'Cory Barney and Dylan Raiola just ripping it up at a spring game when they just enrolled in January, like Dawson Merritt said, how can he not think that he can't? Like, if he does his end of things, Nebraska's going to get him on the field. And so it's on, if he were to go to Nebraska, he knows if he does his work, he's going to get that opportunity. There's not some invisible barrier in front of him. And so I think that was a huge takeaway for a lot of those visitors that was in town. And I think Nebraska stacked a lot of good trips on top with 2026 guys and 2027s, and made some interesting offers. it's been kind of a slow build recruiting wise. I expect it to really pick up here in May and certainly blow up in June.
All right, Schaefer. We'll let you go. Appreciate the time as always. Enjoy. By the way, what's your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid outside of Raiola flavored, I guess?
Yeah, sure. Huge black cherry guy growing up. That was always in the cupboard at the Schaefer family household. Really, really like the black cherry flavor. Pretty much like black cherry anything. Like that's a go-to flavor for me when it's an option.
That sounds disgusting. Gross. That's my only takeaway from that. Gross. Bye, Schaefer.
Yeah.
No response to that. He didn't want to argue about black cherry Kool-Aid. No. Maybe he didn't hear me.
I like Sharkleberry Thin.
Okay. Now we got to pull this up.
Yeah. Come on.
Kool-Aid flavors. By the way, do we have another Capri Sun back there?
Yeah. We got 2 in the fridge.
I need one right now.
Ready to go for you right now?
No. During the break. Kool-Aid packets, the ultimate bundle.
The ultimate bundle.
This is on. They're selling Kool-Aid on Amazon now. I just feel weird if I got Kool-Aid off of Amazon, I guess.
Why is there a flavor called Jamaica?
Well,
I need more than that.
Kool-Aid. Discover all the brand's drinks. Watermelon.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Pina colada. No, pina pineapple, whatever that means. Strawberry. Lemonade.
Give me that blue raspberry.
Except the Kool-Aid lemonade. That's kind of good.
Mm-hmm.
Mandarina tangerine.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Kool-Aid.com or popsamerica.com/Kool-Aid. Lemon lime. Interesting. I'm intrigued. Mixed berry, black cherry, peach, mango, strawberry kiwi sounds pretty sweet. I'm more of a green blue guy, like I've always said.
Okay.
With my candies and my sugars. Green or blue. If it's green or blue, I'm probably gonna be in on it.
Okay.
If it's red, it's gonna have to be light red, like straying toward the watermelon away from the cherry. I don't want a deep red.
This pink Swamingo looks good. Looks like it's like a cherry watermelon.
But here's my question. Tropical punch looks really good too. Here's my question. Where the hell is grape? What happened to grape?
Yeah. Like I don't think they do basic anymore. Do they? I mean, they probably do, but
pink lemonade sounds awesome. I got to get some pink lemonade Kool-Aid. We need to have some on deck here.
Okay.
So that'll be your next thing.
We can add that.
No
to
more
the bar.
Capri Suns. Just give me some straight crack. The sugar.
Just mixing Kool-Aid in between breaks. Now.
Hockey Dad likes Schaefer's take. 100% correct. Black cherry anything is excellent.
Black cherry flavor up at Happer Show poll question.
Please vote.
Running at 50-50 right now. It's been up for like 45 seconds.
Brad writes in.
Hi, Brad.
Subject line, purple stuff. If you know, you know. No, not talking about the purple drink. Just talking about purple
sticky punch.
Grape flavored things. Grape flavored.
Let's all go home and watch Biodome tonight.
We'll come back with the odd news on 1620 The Zone. I do have a reminder for you all to join the email list, 1620 The Email. You'll be the first to know about all the exciting things that are going on with us and all the weird foods that we're trying as well. You'll get it right to your inbox, including sports news, contest promotions, and plenty more. Sign up today or I'll be really angry or I'll get triggered.
We don't want that.
1620thezone.com.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and more. Plus, all our vehicles come with fair, transparent pricing and no dealer fees. So you only pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Get started at BaxterFord.com.
It's Champions replacement window season, and we're celebrating with buy 2 windows, get 2 free. If your windows are drafty, difficult to operate, or costing you money on your energy bill, it's time to replace them. Champion Windows is here to help. Champion builds our own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy. We help you choose the best design options for your home. We then build your project in our very own factory. Our install team manages your project every step of the way, and it's all backed by our lifetime guarantee. Turn your house into your dream home with more livable space in a new Champion sunroom, or enhance your curb appeal with new siding, now 30% off. Don't wait, this sale won't last long. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and 30% off sunrooms and siding. Call 877-GO-CHAMPION or visit championsavenow.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. While discounts apply to our regular prices, select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Welcome to this episode of RV Ready, brought to you by Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs by Lake Manawa. Rhodey, where are you headed?
I'm on my way to Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs for the big open house sale.
When is it?
This Saturday, May 4th. Everything's on sale. Parts are even discounted.
Is that the one where they have Stoystitch hot dogs, prize drawings, clowns, and face painting?
You got it.
Love it.
Oh, don't forget.
The coffee's always on.
Of course it is.
Email unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Baseball season is here again, and Tickets for Less has another reason for you to root for the Royals all season long. When Kansas City scores 7 or more runs in a game this season, you can get 7% off your next ticket purchase at ticketsforless.com. Simply use the promo code Royals7 at checkout the day after the Royals score 7 or more runs to redeem your discount. But be sure to act fast. The code will expire at the first pitch of the next scheduled Royals game. Learn more today at ticketsforless.com/Royals.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Roofing. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Roofing come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
I got one for you, Josh.
All right, lay it on me.
Michigan freshman guard George Washington has entered the transfer portal. Re-entered the transfer portal.
Re-enters?
You're talking about from death to life?
Imagine if George Washington...
Well, behind the pearly gates?
I guess George Washington did kind of hit the transfer portal back in the day. He said, King, I'm out. You got a better NIL deal across the pond.
Modern day time-traveling George Washington initially entered following the coaching change, and then he withdrew his name, and now it appears as if he's being shown the door by Dusty May, who's doing quite well actually in the
imagine sitting George Washington down and saying, we don't need you here.
You got to have the guy named George Washington on your team. Your last name on his jersey says Washington. What's your first name? George?
Okay, but really.
Okay, buddy, whatever. What do you go by? I go by George.
Also, he has to take an official visit to George Washington University, yes?
Maybe you'll go to George Mason.
Yeah. Betrayal. Or be a real Benedict Arnold.
Okay, Josh, what else do we have today?
Well, we're going to start with the Minnesota Twins. Have you heard about the Minnesota Twins?
I have. They're kind of stinky.
Well, they've won 7 in a row, so.
Well, stinky compared to the Royals.
Well, I mean, who isn't?
Not everybody could be the Royals.
That's right. In a 162-game Major League Baseball regular season, there's enough room for a lot of strange things to happen. Those include odd rally or home run traditions. One of the latest comes from the Minnesota Twins and sees them tossing a home run sausage to players who hit a home run. The team's local broadcast crew on Bally Sports North got a question about that into a recent presser with manager Rocco Baldelli, who is the father of twins, by the way.
Nice.
Just a weird clubhouse going on up north there. They got quite the answer. He responded when asked about the home run sausage. It's a summer tangy sausage is what it is. I actually looked at the package yesterday. It's bringing us a lot of hits and runs and stuff, so I'm all for it. For anyone that hasn't been following, it is a substantially packed sausage that catcher Ryan Jeffers has been carrying around in his bag and throwing at people when they score and hit home runs.
Okay, so it's still in the is it outside of a wrapping?
No, it is still in the wrapping.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's cool, man. I love baseball that way.
Yeah, it just, hey, it's weird, it's working, and we're just gonna keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore.
It's just guys being dudes.
Yeah.
You ever seen like people? The videos always go viral on Twitter where it's like, what's up with these weird baseball guys? Why are they like grabbing each other's groins? Like, because that's like a handshake now. You just, I'm just like, dude, it's just dudes. Like,
yeah,
come on.
During their
guys being dudes.
During the team's 7-game win streak, the fewest amount of runs they've scored is 5.
All right, so they're hot right now.
Yeah, they scored 16 on Saturday and 11 on Sunday.
I hadn't paid much attention to the Twins over the last week. Sorry. I guess I should.
You should. Always strange brewings happening when you follow the Minnesota Twins. One team you have been following is the Denver Nuggets.
I have.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about?
Yeah, I saw that they were debating on ESPN this morning if LeBron and the Lakers
winning
Saturday and not getting swept kept him in the GOAT conversation.
Mm-hmm. That's a weird.
You're just making a lot of assumptions in that.
When you could just ask, is Nikola Jokic in any kind of conversation? You could just ask that instead.
Yeah, that'd be a normal thing to ask.
But
LeBron's not going anywhere, guys. He's not going anywhere in the GOAT conversation. I'm pretty sure that's already been solidified.
Like he's
already there.
2 or 3, depending on your world outlook.
Yep.
Like that, I don't see him moving up or down.
He could go to 1. I mean, he could be 1 to some people.
Maybe. Definitely. But as you alluded to, they did lose. The Denver Nuggets did on Saturday.
Yes.
And they are not making excuses, even though they very well could, as the team was forced to warm up before Game 4 without any shoes on.
They lost their shoes?
There was a luggage snafu.
Gotcha.
Apparently, a few players actually took the court before Denver's 119-108 loss to LA in Game 4 without any shoes because of a mix-up getting the players' insoles onto the early bus. Turns out they packed the shoes and put them on the late bus. I don't know the difference between the two. Obviously, one bus is arriving early and one bus is arriving late.
Usually not long.
Feels like a simple phone call could have been made, but what's their coach's name? Malone? Mike Malone.
Michael.
I knew it was MM. Is it ideal? No, but hopefully we can figure out and make sure it never happens again. If you want to dig into stuff and say, well, we lost for some strange reason, our players didn't have shoes for warm-ups, they're shooting around with flip-flops on, is that ideal? No, but I'm not an excuse guy. I'm not going to point to the reason we got our butts kicked in the paint because our shoes weren't here on time. I think that's a reach.
Me too.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, though.
Imagine just owning a loss instead of, I don't know, blaming your teammates, blaming your coach, blaming your city's fans.
Blaming officials. Stomping around like a child baby boy.
Imagine just going, you know what? We lost. We'll get the next one. What a novel concept during the playoffs especially.
Although I will say they do have the benefit of having a 3-0 lead in the series.
Yeah. You could afford one of those.
Finally, Josh.
And finally, yes.
Get me to the main story. Get me to the main event. This is on special request from me. Josh didn't know about this at all this morning.
I didn't know. Yeah, this comes courtesy of Connor. So thank you, Connor, for this story.
Connor.com.
Hundreds of people gathered in Union Square to watch a masked man eat an entire container of cheese balls Saturday in New York City.
That's right.
The unidentified 27-year-old man posted flyers around the city in the weeks leading up to the event. In the video, fans could be heard chanting as the masked man choked down the cheese balls.
Cheese ball man. Cheese ball man. Yes, that's right. He showed up in a bright orange ski mask, got up on top of a stool, And his first word of his speech with this giant jug of cheese balls from Costco was, "I am allergic to gluten." And then he started ripping the cheese balls. I will say there was probably a couple thousand people there, maybe. It was awesome.
This
is America
ridiculous.
at its finest. This is New York at its finest. Whoever says they don't love New York, you get a grip. This is as good as it gets right here.
I have a note here, the bottom of this paragraph.
What does it say?
I'm not editorializing when I say this. And the crowd said he was not very good at it.
No, he wasn't. There was a lot of cheese balls on the ground.
He explained after the event he had not practiced at all. The man had a gluten intolerance and was in significant gastrointestinal pain afterwards.
Yeah, I imagine so. He tried to eat a whole thing of cheese balls. He wasn't prepared for that at all.
But we've all at some point in our lives attacked a large plastic tub of cheese balls.
Yeah.
Whether it be a sleepover when you're
I don't think
or whatever.
I mean, I've attacked, but I don't. I mean,
not a whole one.
The whole thing?
No.
I am amazed at myself sometimes where I'll be sitting there eating the giant jug of pub mix, and then all of a sudden I'm reaching for all of a sudden half my forearms in there. I'm like, ooh, I'm doing too much damage here. Time to roll this thing back up and put it back in the pantry. Or same thing with like a bag of chips.
We've all been there.
Normal bag of Doritos. I'm like, oh crap, they're gone.
Yeah, you're at the
This
point
is
where
horrible.
it's like there's just a smattering of Doritos left, and you're like, well, I guess I got to finish it because I'm not rolling this bag up because there's 6 chips left in the bag.
But you'd feel because you want other people to have access to the chips.
And you got to go buy a replacement bag in the middle of the night. So
It's a whole big thing.
No one, you got to hide your shame.
I love Cheese Ball Man, and I love that this is a thing. And I love that he took the effort in putting posters up over the city, and I love that people showed up. It was one of the bright shining stars of the weekend. A winner of the weekend, Josh. Remember that game?
Yes, I do.
Winner of the weekend is Cheese Ball Man.
Cheese Ball Man.
Not Dylon.
Asian Joe tweets in.
Asian Joe.
Cheeseball guy probably did better eating them than Nick Grimm did trying to guzzle down a glizzy.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. He had a lot of cheese residue on his fingers. I can tell you that much.
Wonder if they were crunchier than he remembers.
What if afterwards the Cheese Ball Man did not take any responsibility whatsoever, and he was like, "Oh, I thought that was gonna be easier than it was. I guess I wasn't wrong, but that would have been bad. That would have put a damper on the entire thing."
Absolutely.
So I'm glad Cheese Ball Man didn't do that. Thank you, Cheese Ball Man.
Thank you, Cheese Ball Man. And it makes me wonder what type of like weird rando things we could do. Like, hey, come to the Omaha Baseball Village and watch a masked man eat.
It has to
the blank.
It has to be organic. It has to build naturally, right? And I think you have to kind of do it by word of mouth or the underground social media scene, like Reddit, or something like that. That's not really underground, but you get what I'm saying. It's got to be organic, and you got to get some people on your side right away. Probably need some time between Cheeseball Man and whatever else happens next.
Oh yeah, you couldn't.
I can't do Cheeseball Man tomorrow.
No,
like I can't do Pub Mix Man.
No,
But
we could do something in June.
Something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's eating something either, because that feels really uncomfortable.
Yeah, but there's lots of food down.
We have to work, though. Josh. We do, after all, have to work.
Yes. Not Josh Peterson.
That's true.
He's done running a marathon.
That is true. Very interesting.
It's his turn to take one for the station.
Okay, thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
Thanks for squeezing that one in there for me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for bringing it to my attention. I didn't know.
Incredible. We'll come back in the noon hour. We'll talk about Nebraska's offense, some of the things we were getting into there with Schaefer, and we'll move around to some other things, including Charles Barkley's review of another American city. In Major League Baseball jerseys being fixed.
More or less.
Coming back on 1620 The Zone. But first, the road to the NBA Finals is underway, and new customers on the FanDuel Sportsbook can go there on their own playoff run with $150. Just place any $5 bet, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose, to use during the NBA playoffs. So, With that being said, look at the slate tonight. Look at what's coming up. The Nuggets are certainly going to close out the Lakers in Game 5 tonight. Josh is hoping that his Celtics don't blow it against the Miami Heat. And, the Thunder are going to send the Pelicans to Galveston. So use those to your advantage in the FanDuel Sportsbook. Head to FanDuel.com/Happer and get yourself started. It's not just the games, though. It's also individual player props. Like I said, the Nikola Jokic triple-double thing, you're going to be within like a point or a rebound every single time. So I would probably hit that one up as well. Only on the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Hey, Brianna, look at you, graduating already.
Yeah, knocked out my gen eds in 2 years at MCC.
And now you're off to
finish my 4-year degree at the university.
That was fast. I'll bet your mom
loves that. We saved thousands in tuition.
Now that's smart.
That's Metropolitan Community College.
Knock out your gen eds in 2 years before transferring to a 4-year university. Get started at mccneb.edu/me. Classes start June 5th.
This is me at MCC.
I'm Dave Osted. And I'm Ryan Osted. Every golfer will get value from being custom fit. The truth is, the higher handicappers will get more value from being custom fit than the low handicappers.
It's changed so much since my dad started the business in 1963. We now have hundreds of thousands of dollars in technology, and we know exactly what the spin rate is, what the launch angle is. We encourage you to bring your current clubs in now, and we can compare it. And guys walk out of the store knowing that the purchase they just made is going to give them 21 more yards off the tee box. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Johnson with you in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Dylan. Just had to say it for the first time this hour. Oh. So all this comes back to the quarterback conversation anyway. So keep that in mind. But this is piggybacking off something we were talking about with Schaefer before.
Dylan.
I really like just the offensive operation in general. And I have a question for you at the end. So I thought what Nebraska did, like I said, big picture, exceedingly competent in the spring game. At the same time, yes, it was definitely set up for the offense to have success. B, don't care, right? Because they couldn't do stuff if they were spoon-fed it last year. Marcus Satterfield went up to all the quarterbacks and he got his little, he stirred up a little thing of yogurt and he was like, here comes the airplane, wee! And they still couldn't do it right last year. And it ended up all over everyone's face and eyeballs and on their chests. Not even a laugh, Josh? Not even a laugh on the end. I'm mad at you now.
I was trying to behave myself and be mature. Apparently, that was the wrong.
You gotta help me out a little bit. She's gotta at least tell the people that I'm kind of funny.
Oh, you're hilarious.
Thank you.
I don't know.
So
what
no
show we're
yogurt
trying to be today.
No yogurt on anybody's chest today. No yogurt on anybody's chest or on their face.
I watched that spring game.
Okay, it didn't have to be yogurt, I'll admit, but it was. That's the analogy that I made. But they were exceedingly normal offense. There were some pretty good flashes of RPO stuff. There was a very clean spring game or screen game, spring game too. Screen game. Oh man.
Looked like that play is, obviously you're playing against better defense, but looked like that play might be there quite a bit.
I think 2021 Michigan was the last time Nebraska actually successfully executed a screenplay to Ramir Johnson. And just in general, some of the short passing stuff that last year, at first they couldn't execute it. And then, as they switched quarterbacks in and out, they just completely went away from it entirely, which I don't blame them for. Some people got on Marcus Satterfield about it. We'll talk about him in a second. Now, I hope what this doesn't lead to is putting too much on Dylan's shoulders. But I think the big takeaway is even with Heinrich, right? Like in Kalen, I think the coaches have a pretty clear and high level of understanding of what they have when each quarterback is in the game and ways they can use that person's skill set to their advantage. Like I said, same thing goes for Heine, for young Heinrich. Number one, he looks better and cleaner in the first place. He looks like he's another year developed. But obviously, his skill set is different, and I think they have a good sense of that. So if and when you see Heinrich Harburg in a football game this year, he's not going to be asked to do Dylan stuff. And if Danny Kalen's in the game, he's not going to be asked to do Dylan stuff. They'll pair it to make sense for whichever quarterback is in the game. This seems like very regular things. But once again, yogurt on the chest last year. All right. Now you're just pitying me. This is sad. But it is a team that it appears to me, bigger picture, has itself self-scouted well. So let me ask you this. What do you think about Marcus Satterfield today?
Satty?
Yeah. Satty. Now, as Schaefer pointed out, he's definitely not the kind of guy to be like, look at me. I have Dylan, and I'm not a crappy offensive coordinator anymore. I wonder why. But if I'm Nebraska's coaching staff, and specifically Marcus Satterfield, I'm just taking a huge victory lap this entire year. Yeah. We're good. And we're good coaches. Why did you judge me on last year when we had those three guys playing quarterback?
Maybe the operation wasn't up and running last year.
Not to say anything about Heinrich, but like they had their hands tied behind their back, guys, like the entire season. They're just trying to fight everybody with their shoulders like this.
You can't catch a snap when your hands are tied behind your back.
As evidenced several times last year. And like this offense is going to get better. I mean, just by osmosis, first of all, but it's going to get better because of Dylan Raiola, right? Well, I don't want the coaching staff to get lost in the shuffle here because like I said, you see really real quarterback development, first of all. And then with Dylan, who we didn't have, we don't know exactly what we're going to get, but like I said before, he had a lot of the little stuff really mapped out already and just the comfort level. And some of that is him, but I do think the coaching staff deserves a lot of credit for it and putting him and whoever their quarterback is in the game at that specific time in really good positions. Nebraska got to a point last year with the quarterbacks that they were operating with and the skill position players that they were operating with and the run game that they were operating with I mean, they were guessing. It was a pick a play offense. Like, can we almost get lucky and run into a play that sparks a big gain, or in the best case scenario, of course, gets us a touchdown?
Can we completely surprise the opposing defense?
Every single splash play last year was a long touchdown pass. You know, I guess with the exception of a long Jeff Sims run against Colorado, you know, to open the second half after Gus Johnson already benched him in his mind. But I don't want that to get lost in the shuffle here. If I'm Marcus Satterfield, like, look at me, you know, why are you guys judging me on that crap from last year? Now we go. Now we judge.
Well,
now we get a better sense of what they're all about. And my initial read is that they have a really good understanding of what they do well and what they don't do well, and how to pare systems down for personnel. And that ultimately, it's the best part about not being attached to a stupid scheme like Scott Frost was. It's the best part about it. They're not attached to anything. They could be whatever they want. Coaches come in all the time and they're like, we got to do this because it's me. And it's, I come from the Mike Leach tree, or I come from the whatever, you know, and this is where we've been, and this is what we've done. And the formula works. And we're going to plug every single player that doesn't make sense into this formula and make it work, damn it. That's coach's ego that gets in front of it every single time. And this staff is not connected to anything like that.
Right.
They have such a wide variance of things that they've done in the past. They've been up tempo, they've been spread, they've been RPO, they've been quarterback run, they ran some option last year, they've been pro style. Like, they can adapt and adjust. And they will. And I mean, I didn't get all that from the spring game. That's all this information from the last, year and a half of them being here now. But yeah, and last season in particular. But I think if we're looking big picture on offense outside of just Dylan, that's the big one for me. They have that ability to be whatever, it is they need to be, whatever their personnel says they are.
I just think there's still going to be a certain segment of the fan base that is so opposed to Marcus Satterfield that they go, well, he's got Dylan Raiola. Yeah. Anybody could run an offense with him at quarterback.
There's probably a case to be made for that.
Sure.
I mean, it sure as hell looks a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is Satterfield, like, I don't think he cares if you don't give him credit.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares if you're like, yeah, well, I mean, they just got a 5-star quarterback. So
inside the walls, they know what's what.
Mm-hmm. Just know they're putting those guys in the right position. There was a clear difference from when each of those guys were in the game. And I think on top of that, they have the ability to individually develop those quarterbacks. And maybe Glenn Thomas deserves some of the credit as well, or just the Rhule maybe for the delegation of tasks right between those guys. Like the now order of operations is a little bit more straight for the offense. Whatever it is, I think the coaching staff deserves credit.
I was really impressed with the way Harburg looked and the way they used him. I just was. They're almost blown away. Like, oh, this looks like a player that's a year better.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're going to use that guy. I'm pretty sure they're going to use that guy.
I think you got to find a way.
Now they're thin, so you don't want to put them in harm's way too much. But I think he's a really good change of pace. Now you got to be careful and pick your spots. And obviously, you're tipping your pitch a little bit because when he comes in the game, he's a much, much stronger threat to run the football. But with that being said, I mean, he can act as kind of like an H-back type of deal. But he could bulldozer that thing. He's gigantic. He's a mountain man, and he's really fast.
If your O-line's good enough to execute properly when everybody knows what's coming, that would also be very great thing to see for the fan base.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple times like 3rd and 3, they handed it off and they got a first down. And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah. And some
love having that.
I like what I saw out of the run game. I wasn't blown away by it.
Right.
But I like, we also don't think about how that part is just automatically going to get better because of how much better they are on the edges and at the quarterback position. Like they just have options. They just have so many more things at their fingertips. Last year, they didn't have any fingers.
Right.
They got them all chopped off and their hands were tied behind their back. And this year, like they got some stuff that they can use, whether it's playmakers, schemes, or hopefully not too much, but I wouldn't mind sometimes asking the 5-star quarterback to do something special for you. You don't want to rely on it too much. It'd be a good case study would probably be 2018. Adrian Martinez's freshman year. They were not overly reliant on him, and he thrived. He was good. He made the plays, and he made some outstanding plays. And he made some ridiculously horrible freshman plays, like the backward pass, whatever he was doing at Ohio State that year. I think Dylan's more talented and less dangerous than him. Certainly more talented from an arm perspective and less dangerous from the perspective of he doesn't run or, they won't run him much. But that's probably as good of a comp as we can, as I guess we have with how the offense is going to be in relation to what they're going to get out of the quarterback this year. Okay, we could take this real quick. Since it's on the subject, let's go to the 42 Degrees Source hotline. Here is Alan. Alan, good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
Good, Connor. Hey, just hopped in the truck and was hearing you say about Satterfield, like, oh, he's a good coach. He's got Raiola. Well, and we shouldn't hold him for what happened last year.
I agree.
My thing is that, well, I kind of disagree because I think we have to hold him to last year because he picked Jeff Sims.
Because he picked Jeff Sims?
Yeah. So, you make your bed, you got to lay in it.
Yeah. So where does he come out if they quote unquote picked Dylan Raiola and they're good this year? Like, is it a net positive or a net negative?
Well, come on. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a net positive.
Okay,
and I'm not saying scratch the guy, but I'm saying he does have some fault in last year because of his pick.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And Alan, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Like, sure. I mean, the blame goes around everywhere. But what I'm saying is I don't think people give them enough credit for how difficult it was. They did pick Sims. They did pick Sims.
They did choose poorly.
They found out very quickly that was the wrong choice. And so, I don't know. Like
ACC network in Carolina?
Yeah, I guess not. I'm not going to hold a grudge on that one because of what, like Alan said, we're net positive here. They got a 5-star quarterback in the second year, and he turns out to be the real deal. So I'm not holding him against him too much there. But sure, Alan, nobody's blameless. Nobody's blameless for the disaster of last year offensively.
Real quick in the YouTube chat, Theo, one of our most ardent Satterfield haters.
Yes, that's right. Oh, sorry.
I'm giving Satty a second chance, but we must beat the Buffs on 9-7.
It's all on the line.
Nasty.
And Ja'Cory Barney's going to take back a kick, and he's going to shush everybody. Yep. Mike writes in, he says, Jeff Sims was just bad. No play calling or coaching was helping that. Now, to Alan's point, though, they put themselves in that position. I don't think even in their most insane nightmares, they thought it would be that bad.
Hey, he turns the ball over a lot. Should we take him? Well, he can't turn the ball over any more than he did at Georgia Tech. Well, turns out he can.
Yeah, and you saw, by the way, you saw how they approached him that first game. How many times did he run in that first game against Minnesota? Like 20?
Yeah, a lot.
He was running. He was a running back that game. He just ran. So I think that gives you a pretty good sense of what they thought about him going in. And once again, understanding personnel. And it's just a self-scout, right? Telling the truth about yourself. What are we? And what can we be? It's a good setup.
He ran the ball 19 times against Minnesota.
Almost 20. Josh.
Look at you. Is 1920?
I remember it like it was yesterday. He's 1920.
We did a big red overreaction together.
I don't remember that. Wow. We did?
Yeah.
Well, it must have been bad.
It was my favorite big red overreaction of the season.
Because it was me and you?
Because it was you and me, and your internet worked because you were here in the studio with me.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy to help you, Josh. Coming back, we'll tell you which American city Charles Barkley is ripping now.
Ooh.
On 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
I cannot believe you didn't want to watch Hook. What a classic
I've never
movie.
seen Hook either.
Yeah, but Nick, you're 5. Sean was alive in the mid-90s. I didn't see every single movie. You didn't see anything. You're a big dumb idiot. I'm working at the gas station again, watching the 94 Orange Bowl. Watch some damn movies, John. I've seen listen to Nirvana. Hell yeah.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny skies for your Monday afternoon. A tad breezy at times with westerly winds up to 20 miles an hour, but comfortable. A high today in Omaha, 67. Skies stay mostly clear tonight with mild temperatures into the upper 40s, lower 50s. Starting Tuesday off, mostly sunny. Clouds will increase for your afternoon. Warm with a high of 81, southerly gusts up to 30 miles an hour, and a chance of storms after 2 p.m. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
Right now, and for a very limited time, get a free $500 quarter-carat oval natural diamond pendant valued at $500 for free with a purchase of $500 or more at Greenberg's Jewelers. Or receive a set of half-carat total weight diamond studs valued at $1,000 absolutely free when you buy $1,000 or more in gorgeous Greenberg's jewelry. It's a real buy one, get one free opportunity during Greenberg's Jewelers' Celebrating Love spring event. Get mom that special Mother's Day gift. Or maybe you have an anniversary, special birthday, or a graduation coming up. You can give 2 pieces of jewelry or keep the free earrings or pendant for yourself. Greenberg's won't tell. Don't miss these tremendous buy one, get one free opportunities during Greenberg's Jewelers' Celebrating Love spring event, happening for a very limited time only at Greenberg's Jewelers. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest. West Roads Mall.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the party, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always soft. It's our party vibe. She's cushioning so our cheeks feel flat. So what? Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Guys, let's have a conversation. Let's say you've been losing interest in your spouse. You got low libido. You can't focus on things. And you're wondering, what is going on? It may be low testosterone. Mentality is here for you. With their FDA-approved testosterone treatment, with board-certified physicians who work with most insurance companies, they can diagnose the symptoms of low testosterone and take care of it. Schedule an appointment today. Go to the website, lowtusa.com. Take back your life, man. Mentality. lowtusa.com.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
All right, a couple of things here. First of all, a reminder to head to 1620thezone.com and get in on the Field of Green sweepstakes. The Field of Green sweepstakes is your chance to win $5,000 for all your home improvement plans. Can the $5,000 be used on bunny extermination?
Ooh.
They're in my yacht. They're in my lawn. They're in my yard.
Get them out.
I'd be intrigued. Go to 1620thezone.com.
I mean, they're probably not monitoring that closely what you spend it on.
There's tiny baby rabbits now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so I was going to go back there. So I peeked at him one of the days. By the way, I got a mow in over the weekend. It seems difficult,
Really?
but I did. I really had to squeeze it in too because we were
How?
getting way long.
There was so much.
I got one in yesterday, and then I
water.
did the front on Saturday. It was too wet.
Okay.
Admittedly, but it needed it badly.
Sure.
Otherwise, it's going to be super problematic. So I went back there on one of the days, and one of the bunnies had children.
Mm-hmm.
On one of the posts of my underneath one of the posts of my deck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there was 3 of them sitting there. I was like, damn it. And I was going to take the shovel out and just, scoop them out and go up and take them out front right away. And then I decided, take your time because tomorrow it's all over for you. Your home is no longer your home. I'll be displacing you. And so that I went back out there the next day. It was yesterday.
Tactical strike.
And I went out there with a shovel and I looked in their place and they were gone. So I was like, maybe that's the best case scenario for both. So then I take the mower out, start mowing. You know what happened. Got one.
Yeah.
I didn't feel great about it.
No.
I didn't like that.
Nope. I've been there. Yep.
I didn't like how that went.
You feel like a monster, and then
Yep.
you're like, oh, how do I clean this up?
Yep. So I got the shovel back out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like how that went down.
Nope.
I'm not a killer, Josh.
It's not what we wanted.
It's not how I wanted it to go.
And now I hear that the bunnies are rallying and there will be protests at the Happer house this week.
They probably should. It was not a very becoming death.
That's no way to go.
No.
Even if you guys fundamentally disagree on everything.
Yeah.
hey, Mr. Happer, we want to live here. No. Happer, nope. No free room and board.
No. They're just gonna be mad at me, and they're gonna have more babies. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to do something drastic. All right, that's your bunny update. UConn has landed another transfer out of the portal. St. Mary's transfer Aiden Mahaney has committed to UConn after visiting Kentucky, Creighton, and Virginia. So I'm a little worried about that situation.
I asked you during the break, and now I'm going to take it public.
Please do.
Should I be worried about the players that UConn is amassing in the portal?
You should.
This offseason?
Yeah, you should.
Because
you should be very worried.
I'll plead ignorance. I don't know if these players are any good or not, but
no, they're good.
They're getting a lot of players.
No, they're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very concerning what what are they building in there? It's it's very concerning. And so we're going to have to deal with them for a while. Creighton's still awaiting some news on Ryan Kalkbrenner, but they did get a transfer over the weekend in Pop Isaacs.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh, I knew that was going to be your reaction.
Now we got it.
Okay, go ahead. I knew you were going to do that.
But here's the thing.
You looked into it, didn't you?
I looked into it. I didn't like what I found. And here's why it bothered me. Here's why it bothered me first and foremost. Obviously, terrible situation.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
any of the details of. I am not intelligent enough to speak on it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You're going to have to hear from Husker fans about it forever. And I don't like that because it's just annoying.
It's the world it's the world we live in, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to be prepared for that at this point.
Because let me tell you, that kid at Illinois, he got some chance.
He did.
He got some chance.
He did. Okay. So that's what's going on downtown.
That's a fun name, though. Pop Isaacs.
It is a great name. Yeah, Creighton's, as Mike says on YouTube, Creighton's got some work to do still. For sure. And especially if they don't get advantageous news on Tree Man. But we'll see what happens on that one.
Yeah, Groot needs to come back.
Big Tree Man. Need Big Tree Man back. Mm-hmm. All right, let's head to the best show on television.
That's right, Paw Patrol.
I'm sure you guys saw this, but we're going to make you watch it again. Here is Charles Barkley's reaction to the Pelicans losing yet another playoff game. Now, albeit to the 1 seed. So,
right,
I mean, like, understandable. But as Charles Barkley does, and I think we all like to do, especially in the NBA world, is we like to do a little dancing after teams lose.
Sure.
And Charles Barkley is certainly one of those people. Here he is.
Disappointing on us. Where they going, Chuck? Galveston. That dirty ass water. We're not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna send them to Galveston with that dirty ass water be washing up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. Y'all located, we y'all gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston. Come on, man.
So they're not taking a little.
Come on, they didn't even try, man. No, we're not getting them no plane ticket to the beach. We send their ass to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in the water. Come on, man.
Oklahoma City. 180.
A number of things to break down from that clip.
It's so teed up. The reaction was so fast.
It was so
Chuck, where they going?
And
they're going to take their ass to Galveston.
Charles sounds
They're not even going to Cabo.
Charles sounds under the weather. He sounds stuffed up.
He says this with such a straight face. He doesn't even move when he talks. And he's saying the funniest thing you could possibly imagine, which is we're not even allowing them to go to Cabo or wherever they go in the Cancun or wherever they go in the off season now. We have to take them to Galveston with their dirty ass water and people pretending like they're on the beach when they're actually just in Galveston with their dirty water.
And a man of Shaq's size and stature was literally doubled over in laughter. And here's my favorite part. It's the crew members laughing.
Yeah, in the background.
In the background.
You got to have the guy in the back.
You can hear it.
You got to have the guy in the back laughing hysterically. I want to play it again.
Okay.
Just listen for the guy laughing in the background again. So here's NBA on TNT.
It's disappointing on us. Where they going, Chuck? Galveston. That dirty ass water. We're not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna send them to Galveston with that dirty ass water be washing up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. Y'all can't. We y'all gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston. Come on, man.
So they're not taking a little.
Come on, they didn't even try, man. No, we're not getting them no plane ticket to the beach. We send their ass to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in the water. Come on, man.
Oh man, best show on television. Best show on television.
It's not even really a close second.
It's not even remotely close.
Imagine having that up for media rights and not re-upping with TNT.
Yeah, imagine having the possibility floated out there that show could change in any way, shape, or form. Do nothing to it. Yeah, I hold it as sacred as the NCAA tournament. Don't do anything. If you think about doing something to it, we could do this and this with Chuck and Jack. No, don't change it at all.
You did the Tuesday lineup, and it's good. It's very good, but it's not as entertaining. It's not as fun as the Thursday crew of Kenny and Chuck and Shaq.
And Kenny wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Who was it like? Who was that? I didn't even know who that was. Sitting in for Kenny Smith this weekend. Anyway.
Didn't even notice.
Yeah, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. He was just trying not to laugh as much as he possibly could. Aaron writes in. He says, Shaq's reaction just dying is so great too. Ernie is so good. How he keeps that circus working so well is amazing. He's the best. Oh, it was Vince Carter. I was going to say it was Vince Carter, but I was scared. I didn't want to say, it was a guy. He looked like Vince Carter.
Now, Shaq, now we don't have the video for this, but Shaq has offered an apology
to Galveston,
and more importantly, their most famous resident. May I?
Please.
I don't want the beehive and Jay after Chuck. Those, I apologize. I do not want the beehive and Jay after me.
So how do you like Galveston now? It's beautiful.
We're not going there. Would you go on vacation?
You got a chance.
Hell no, I ain't going on vacation.
You've got a chance to wipe the slate clean here.
You got to just say, I would go to Galveston. That water's so dirty, I'd rather go to San Antonio. I'd rather go to San Antonio with them big old women. No, I'm not going to Galveston. I want to go to the beach down in the river walk and watch them big old women walking down San Antonio.
So you know what? You know what sets him off. Okay, so you know what?
Would you rather go, Chuck? San Antonio. That's what they invented Victoria's Secret, Jack. Why is it secret? Because them little women down there, they can't get in them cute little underwear. They wear bloomers down in San Antonio. Oh my God.
Am I to understand this correctly?
Victoria's Secret down there. It's still a secret.
What's that?
Am I to understand this correctly that Beyonce is from Galveston?
That's right.
Okay. Got it.
Got to protect Galveston.
By the way, I got an email here real quick.
Oh, okay.
Did you just say an hour ago that LeBron is in the conversation for GOAT over Jordan? Dude, why do you even have a sports radio show? Pathetic. Just another typical millennial or Gen Z POS who thinks history and or sports history started when they came of age. Get a bleeping clue. Yikes.
Just really, we're going to do the passionate, serious MJ LeBron
It seems like
debate.
it's a little bit of goading, a little bit of trying to bait me a little bit. And I'm gonna hold.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold. We were talking about an ESPN topic that I was not wading into those waters as well.
Yeah.
I feel like he should be in the conversation, right? This is the conversation.
Yeah, and the
LeBron?
The conversation is 4 or 5 guys, right? And
yes, he's in it.
He's allowed to be in the. Is he going to win? Probably not. Not with me. With children, yes, perhaps.
I don't feel like it's that crazy to say LeBron's in the conversation.
No.
Okay, that's been said before, Josh.
Mm-hmm. You have vowed to never do the "is a hot dog a sandwich" topic.
No.
I'm vowing to never have a serious discussion about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James.
Okay. Those are good rules for this show, honestly.
I will not do it.
Sam McKewon will join us at the top of the hour. We'll talk some football with him. We'll come back. A couple other videos that we still have. One featuring Matt Rhule talking about Thomas Fidone. A couple more topics from over the weekend as well. Still talk about the jerseys being fixed, Major League Baseball.
Connor did that for all of you.
We did that.
We did that.
We had the 30-minute conversation with the jersey guy. I'd do it again.
I sent it to Rob Manfred. I said, here, what do you think of this, Chief? And he said, lose this number. And I said, okay, sir.
And you asked, why are you drunk right now? Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
Are Nebraska craft beers and ciders important to you? Whether you just love Nebraska brewed beers and ciders or you're a full-fledged craft brewery, there are benefits to membership for anyone with the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Their sole mission is to foster and help grow the Nebraska-centric brewing community. Become a member today at nebraska.beer and help advance the craft beer and cider industry in the state of Nebraska. Find out more about the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild at nebraska.beer.
Spring is sprung, and you know what? You need to look good. You need to get your fit looking like rad. And Lily Clothing and Well Suited can take care of you because you got prom, you got graduation, you got weddings, and you need to look your best. And you can look your best right now. Why rent a suit? Buy a suit. And you know what? You can get a suit for as little as $199 at Lily Clothing and Well Suited in the Linden Market, 132nd and West Dodge. Take care of yourself now. Why rent when you can buy this season at Lily Clothing and Well Suited?
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is $50 in vouchers to Le Voltaire French Restaurant for only $25. Le Voltaire Pepperwood Village is a locally owned, unpretentious French restaurant that serves delicious French cooking with an extensive wine list and great handcrafted cocktails. Whether dining with friends, clients, or that special someone, Le Voltaire will make you feel right at home.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Every Mother's Day, I stress out trying to find that perfect gift. But this year, I finally found it. The Skylight Frame. The Skylight Frame is a touchscreen photo frame your whole family can upload photos to. Even if you're all spread across the country, Mom and Grandma can share your favorite moments. The Skylight Frame is simple to set up and use. In minutes, your family can email photos straight to your mom's Skylight Frame and surprise her with those special moments. And for that perfect Mother's Day unboxing, you can preload the Skylight Frame with your favorite photos from Mom, and it'll be ready when she unwraps her gift. It's the perfect way to touch her heart and bring you all together, wherever you are. It's the gift of connection. And now, as a special limited-time offer for our listeners, get 15% off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/radio. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/radio. Get 15% off your Mother's Day purchase now at skylightframe.com/radio.
All right, Josh, do we want to bring this tweet to the light? What is this?
I can, absolutely.
Go ahead.
I was tipped off to a tweet from Carrie Champion. I said, that cannot be real. I need to see it for myself.
Carrie Champion.
Because that's what a journalist does. He doesn't believe anything on first glance.
What channel is Carrie Champion on now?
The ESPN.
She's still on ESPN?
Right?
Okay, good. I don't know.
Who's anywhere.
Who works for anybody anymore?
Right. She tweeted 51 minutes ago now. Just got a text from my friend. He says tonight is LeBron's last game in purple and gold.
All right. Carrie Champion's friend reported it first.
Is that friend Adele?
Who knows? Where's LeBron going to play next year?
The Garden.
Was he going to play? Well, is there a reason? Has Bronny committed anywhere yet out of the portal? Because everybody thought he was going to Duquesne, right?
Right. The buzz was Duquesne or the draft.
He hasn't committed anywhere yet.
Right.
Interesting. Maybe they both team up for some real bad team that needs to sell some tickets. Who's out there? The Hornets?
The Charlotte Hornets.
Perfect.
The Detroit Pistons.
Very, very good. Another thing that happened over the weekend, you may not have noticed because you probably weren't watching if you're a Nebraska fan, because Nebraska did not get one single player drafted this weekend. I'd like to take a moment and just talk about how insane that is. It is also the second time in the last 6 drafts that Nebraska has not had one single player drafted in the draft.
Now, they do this draft every April.
Every single year. You have congratulations to the guys who went out and signed free agent deals and are going to show up in training camp and hopefully make rosters and stick around for a little while, maybe some practice squads in there. But Nebraska did not have one single player drafted.
That's really interesting because Iowa Western had a player drafted.
Iowa Western had a player drafted. Here are some other schools that had a player drafted.
Oh, okay.
Eastern Kentucky,
Ooh,
Holy Cross, the University of British Columbia.
What?
Yep. Findlay, Yukon. Thought I'd throw them in there. Southeast Missouri State.
That's Ryan Flournoy from Iowa Western.
Yale. All of those schools had players drafted, but not the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I would like to add one more.
Oh, go ahead.
Because it's hilarious.
Throw as many in there as you want.
The Toronto Argonauts.
The Toronto Argonauts.
That's not a college.
I was hoping that somebody, I guess we did have the University of British Columbia, so that's pretty close.
Oh, is that the same guy, maybe?
No, I was just hoping that we would have a super duper obscure one. I don't think it's the same guy. Anyway.
I don't know much about Quantez Stiggers, I'll be honest.
I don't know anything at all.
No college.
No college.
No college.
No college had a player drafted. Nebraska didn't. All right, the other big news from over the weekend, outside of Dylon and Storms and what else? Charles Barkley being funny.
Storms, by the way, 1620thezone.com/tornado relief if you're looking for a way to help.
Plenty of good options on there for you to donate your time and money if you can spare it. That's from Jeff Passan late last night. Major League Baseball plans to address its uniform fiasco after changes this spring to the standard jerseys and pants led to widespread complaints from players and fans. That's you and I, Josh.
Yes.
Not players, fans. The memo from the Players Union was obtained by ESPN on Sunday night. The prominent modifications include a return to larger lettering on the back of the jerseys, which now seem gigantic. I saw pictures of jerseys from last year today, and I thought, oh my God, why are the letters so big? They will also be remedying mismatched gray tops and bottoms and addressing the new Nike jerseys' propensity to collect sweat, according to the memo distributed to players by the PA on Sunday.
I have noticed that.
Many have, Josh. The changes, which will happen at the latest by the beginning of next season, will also include fixes to the pants, widely panned this spring for being see-through.
That's right.
Remember when all that time during spring training where you could see everyone's balls?
A lot of ball chat in spring training.
There sure was.
People forget.
Here's the quote from the Players Union in the memo to the players. Quote, "This has been entirely a Nike issue." Just threw Nike right under the bus.
Get the license plate on that bus.
At its core, what has happened here is that Nike was innovating something that didn't need to be innovated.
That is a very harsh
PR
statement.
And it probably, calms the waters a little bit for Fanatics who took some strays, it sounds like. Fanatics, you're off the hook. Congratulations. It was just Nike. We just assumed that Fanatics was worse.
Whatever in our nation's history would lead me to believe that Fanatics made an inferior product.
The union absolved Fanatics the manufacturer of the uniform that has received the majority of public scorn for the uniform mess, saying that the company, quote, recognizes the vital importance of soliciting player feedback, obtaining player buy-in, and not being afraid to have difficult conversations about jersey or trading cards. Our hope is that moving forward, Nike will take a similar approach.
Pay no attention to the fact that the players union has a share in Fanatics.
Oh.
Pay no attention to that detail. It doesn't matter here.
But yeah, we're just taking the bus and we're just rolling it back and forth. They're going to be like pasta dough. Nike is after this entire thing. I'd like to read you a few more lines of this story because it's really comedic. I mean, pretty good comedically. While the new uniform debuted at the 2023 All-Star Game, its rollout this spring led to reams of bad publicity. The shrinking of the letter size on players' name plates gave jerseys an amateur look. The pants, which according to the memo, will return to the higher quality zipper used in 2023. I didn't know they had zipper problems.
I didn't either.
Has a myriad of issues, including the see-through fabric, a lack of tailoring, and rips and tears that players believed were unnecessary. Nike's partnership with baseball began in 2019 when it took over as the league's official uniform supplier as part of a 10-year, $1 billion deal. Quote, we cautioned Nike against various changes when they previewed them in 2022, particularly regarding the pants. MLB has been aware of our concerns as well. Unfortunately, until Nike's position has essentially boiled down to nothing to see here, players will need to adjust. And here's the final line of the story, which I thought was the best if you read all the way through. MLB declined to comment. Nike did not offer immediate comment when reached by ESPN. Fanatics did not respond to a request for comment. The MLBPA declined to comment. So good.
That's great because there's a much more succinct way to say that.
Yeah.
But
Passon
chose not to.
Yeah, Passon wanted to make it pretty clear. It's like they're gonna try and fix this and then pretend like it never happened. And throw Nike into the bus in the meantime, which is honestly admirable.
Now
you gotta blame somebody for this.
This is a bit of a slow process, like Paul Lucas, who joined us a couple weeks ago, which if you missed that radio replay, was a great segment that we did with him. Probably not going to start swapping these out until next season because you get the issue that he brought up where the retailer has the old, but customers are ordering the new, things like that. But we affected real change.
Good job, guys. Way to go. I'm proud of all of you.
We didn't let up, even when people said, oh, just get over it.
I seriously, I couldn't watch a game. I still can't watch a game and not think, what the hell is going on? Why are these uniforms so bad? They look the same, but just different. Different enough.
Just a little bit.
All right. More football coming. Spring game reactions from Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. He had his rewind column out this morning. I would encourage people to give it a read. We'll ask him about a few of the things that are in there and more coming back on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Guys, let's have a conversation. Let's say you've been losing interest in your spouse. You got low libido. You can't focus on things. And you're wondering, what is going on? It may be low testosterone. Mentality is here for you. With their FDA-approved testosterone treatment, the board-certified physicians who work with most insurance companies, they can diagnose the symptoms of low testosterone and take care of it. Schedule an appointment today. Go to the website, lowtusa.com. Take back your life, man. Mentality, lowtusa.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective. A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Allen.
And John Schreiner.
I needed a new co-host.
And since I'm definitely not going off to play pro football, I'm joining the show.
John and I are going to break down all things Huskers, Blue Jays, the NFL, Bellevue Bruins.
And we're going to keep you up to date on all things high school sports in the Metro.
So stop on by from 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday.
As the sports schedule allows,
we're brought to you by Bellevue University
and Papillion Sanitation on 1620 The Zone.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. 1 o'clock hour, the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. We're joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by our good friend Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. I'm talking to the guy who had Ja'Cory Barney, number 2, on his Super 6 list. And you look pretty good for having done that.
Interesting. Did I have him the highest?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about taking that victory lap today. Wow. Thank you for the reminder, Sam. Now I'm going to start it.
You got a victory lap to take. Because, you had my highest for sure. Some people had him as a sleeper, and I don't think that counts.
No, he was too good to be a sleeper.
There's no 4-star sleeper.
No.
So people were like, I'm going to put him as a sleeper. He's not a sleeper.
No.
He was a 4-star recruit.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
You had him number 2. So you were like, I am doubling down on this man's stars. And he had a great game on Saturday.
And who did I have as number 1? Tell everybody that too. Now, a lot of people had this, but I also had that one right.
Dylan Raiola?
Yeah, definitely Dylan Raiola. Yes.
Yeah.
Some people tried to get cute, Sam, not me. I keep it real.
They did. That one's almost like the free one. If you decide not to take the tap in for free, then you take the risk.
Yeah, it was I marked off the free space on the bingo card.
That's right. But your second one was pretty darn good. Well done.
Thank you very much. We could start there. I mean, that feels like a pretty good weapon that Nebraska is going to have at their disposal. I mean, you can get into a conversation about the wide receiver room in general and how improved it is from last year, but like I was kind of struck by the depth at that position, and obviously it's all tied to the quarterback. But I mean, it seems like they're going to have some real playmakers at that spot, ones which we've seen, and then some that we haven't seen here yet also.
Yeah, for sure. I think they feel good about that room, better than they did last year. But some of the young guys who played last year played because of injuries, and that's going to pay off now. Jalen Lloyd is probably a better football player because he had to go through some of the things he had to go through last year. And Xavier Betts doesn't leave and Marcus Washington doesn't get hurt. and ITC doesn't get hurt. I don't know that we see Jalen Lloyd, and so he doesn't know what it's like yet. But now he does, and he does know what it's like. And I thought he played quite nicely on Saturday. Barney brings a lot of skill sets to the table. He's just a pure athlete. He played a lot of Wildcat quarterback in high school. He reminds me a little bit of Jamal Turner in that way. Like, I think he's going to be somewhat similar to Jamal Turner, maybe a little bit quicker than Turner was, but similar player, I think, would be the way that I would put that. And, you know, I think they've just gotten a little better there. You know, I think they're, you know, the kid that transferred in from Texas, he can run.
Yeah.
For sure. And, you know, you always got to keep context in mind. Texas had a receiver taken in the first round and the second round. And those guys played a lot of football for Texas, and they were the lead receivers. And so, you know, the other guy didn't have a chance to play much. And we'll see with Jamal Banks. I think he's going to be a physical, red zone kind of guy. I don't know he's going to be your over-the-top guy, but I like the picture at that position. Obviously got to stay healthy. Have to keep everybody in line. Want to get Malachi Coleman back. I think he's an important addition to that because he is a guy that can take the top off. But, you know, I think they feel good. Jaden Doss was playing at corner, and last year Jaden Doss was like their number 5 receiver.
I know.
Alex Volk was playing on the second team on Saturday. He was on the white team, and that was kind of the second team offense. And, Alex Volk was playing on that team, and that was, you know, he's a second team receiver. He's going to have to battle for a starting job as it stands right now. And so I think Nebraska feels good about where it's at that position. Tight end looked pretty good. Running back, the one thing I'll say for the running backs, Connor, is they ran hard, and I appreciate that. They didn't have to. They probably could have, tiptoed their way through that, and everybody just kind of shrugs their shoulders. But I thought they played with the leading edge, and I thought that, when they went against Nebraska linebackers, they won those battles more often than not. So I thought the offense came to play.
Was there anything about Raiola that you didn't think we'd get a good picture of or a good glimpse of that we did get on Saturday? Or was he kind of just like, as advertised, that's kind of what I thought he would bring to the table?
I thought he did a nice job of throwing the quick stuff, getting the ball out. He got one to Hall, and Hall had to come back in for it, but that's what you want to do on that play. You're okay with him kind of coming in a yard because it's not quite a tunnel screen, but it gives you a little bit of room to run. So I thought he did a nice job there. I think he got pretty good protection for the most part.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think he did some of the things that I would expect him to do. There's room to grow. He floated a couple balls that, you're not going to be able to do that
right
in the season. There's going to be guys there to pick that off. So, I think he's got a good feel for the game. I think he has a sense of where guys are going to be. And so what I would say about him is there's probably a preternatural understanding of just space. And sometimes it looks like he's being a little lackadaisical with his operation. And I don't know that it's that. I think he's probably just maybe a quarter second ahead, and he can. And one thing he's clearly internalized Patrick Mahomes, and that's mostly a good thing. One thing that Mahomes likes to do, and other quarterbacks like to do it too now, is they don't want to tip off where they're throwing the ball, and so their body energy is kind of low key when they wind up, and his body energy is a little low key. And he'll probably have to work on that a little bit, but Mahomes is such that, and Mahomes can do a lot of things. Obviously, his body energy is very high level when he's scrambling around, but when he's just in the pocket, he can almost pull that ball up, and you don't know where he's going with. It's like a point guard, and I think Raiola's got some of that. Like he's able to make a throw, and it's kind of like a cobra striking. You don't really see it coming, and then throw to Bullock, for example, in the middle of the field. That was like a That was like a cobra strike. You don't really think that's coming, and there it is. So stuff like that. He's got an arm that makes those kinds of surprises possible, and so I thought he did a really nice job of managing the whole thing. And then I thought his press conference was pretty good too.
Me too.
That stuff matters. I thought he handled that pretty well. He didn't overdo it. He wasn't goofy, but he wasn't so laconic that it was like it wasn't a big deal. I thought he did a nice job with talking to the media, and that's part of the job too.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, I definitely rather have him calm than frantic. And then I think about Nebraska's offense last year and how frantic it was, and we've gone over and over about its kind of boom or bust nature. Like the thing that I was looking for, we knew that we were going to get the big arm plays and the splash type of plays. That's where the ceiling is for him. But I'm totally with you. The press conference stuff and the demeanor and the simple stuff. Even he had a couple throwaways, Sam, that I was like, yeah, that's the right choice. He feels advanced in that category for a freshman, even of his caliber.
Yeah, I think he's probably spent a lot of time thinking about the position and how to play it. He certainly looked like he had. Again, there's qualities about his game. He's obviously watched a lot of football. I think all that helps. He's internalized some of Mahomes' movements. There was one where he was scrambling and he went and found, I think it was Ian Flint. And sometimes the way that Mahomes, again, he tucks his chin when he's going to scramble. And it's almost like he's tucking his body backward a little bit when he runs so he can kind of keep his equilibrium and his balance when he's throwing the ball. And Rhule did that. Like, it's just an interesting movement. And if you were to watch Patrick Mahomes scramble and just go and look at a YouTube video, you know what I'm talking about. Like, he has this, he pauses for a half second and then he goes and he gets out of the pocket. It's a quality that not every quarterback has. Some quarterbacks, I'm not saying paint by numbers, but they just have a, hey, I'm going to do this the way you're supposed to do it. And Rhule is, got some skills on him that allow him to maybe cut a corner or two. And I don't mean that in a bad way. He's able to do some things with the ball that maybe not all quarterbacks are able to do.
Yeah. Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald is with us here on the Counter Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. One of my takeaways, I think, big picture from the offense, this isn't just from the spring game. And keep in mind, I guess we're comparing it to last year. I feel like depending on which quarterback was in there, and obviously the skill position guys are, I think, like we said, a year better. Offensive line is probably a year better as well. I feel like the coaching staff has a really good understanding. Like they have a good self-scout, right? They know kind of who their quarterback is and what that guy can do in any given moment. I think they were, so hamstrung last year at times. But what Heinrich was doing was not, exactly what Dylan Raiola was doing. And what Kalen was doing was at his level as well. I wonder what you think that means, or if you noticed that, and what you think that means for this group and how far it can take them this year when Raiola is their quarterback.
Well, I think there's something to be said for needing more than just one guy, and they know that. I think you have to have multiple guys ready at a moment's notice. I think one thing Nebraska's never really done that I would like to see them do more of is have a second quarterback, that being Happer, that can get you some stuff done physically in the run game. If you bring him in third and short, everybody kind of knows what he's in there to do, but he's still pretty good at doing it, and he can throw. Creating a role for Happer that's meaningful and also impactful. So I think the team can go a long way if you kind of make sure you know what you're doing with Dylan and you're running the kind of offense you want to run with him, and simultaneously trying to use your number two to maybe do some different things. I think all those options are in play. So much of what a quarterback has to get done is related to the people around him. If you look at the quarterbacks who were in the college football playoffs, they had tremendous talent at their disposal. I think Dylan's better than one of those quarterbacks now. Not to knock Jalen Milroe at all, but I think Dylan's a better passer. than Milroe is probably now. And the other three had incredible players at their disposal. NFL draft picks, all the rest. So you need to surround a quarterback with everything, all the pieces, and then you got to get him to lock in, and then you have to have depth. Like all of these layers have to come together, and then so much time and energy is put into one game and one preparation, and then you have to turn right around and do it again. And so there's so many different parts to getting that thing right. Last year they really struggled to get it right because of the players they had and also the injuries and all the rest. And I think what they hope for is that they can get it right this year.
Yep. Sam, how do you think they, if anything, what do you do about the kicking situation this summer leading into the fall?
Outside of getting another player, I don't really know that there's much you can do.
Right.
I think you're going to have to live with it, and you're going to have to figure out, what the deal is there, why there's struggles, why your kicker pulled the ball twice, and he did. He pulled it foul ball on both from the right hash mark, and not sure why, and you have to kind of figure those things out. I'm sure they'll give it a shot. I don't think they're square at kicker, and I don't think they're totally square at punter.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I think you have to. That's a week in, week out kind of operation, and unlike the NFL, you're stuck with the guys you got once the season begins. So if they're gonna have to figure it out, keep working with them. Again, it wasn't discussed much during spring camp. We didn't ask Rhule much about it. Foley obviously is the expert there, but head coach has got to be there, and he's got to be a part of that conversation. And if it were me, I wouldn't have a kicker talking to anybody until he makes some kicks.
Yeah,
that'd be the way I do it. Not everybody's like that, but I would make some kicks, and then we'll put you out there in fall camp. Go make a game-winning kick or something like that, and then we'll put you out there, because I think there's a lot of confidence there, and I appreciate that. But you got to go out and make kicks. So you do that, and you got to do that first.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
and they ask questions, and that stuff gets in your head too. It's tough to put a kicker out there. It's admirable, but it's tough for the guy to go up there and answer all the questions when he doesn't probably know what's going on.
Sure, there's that. Again, I think this guy is a distance guy, right? Like you want to make him from distance, but you want to tell your quarterback, hey, hold the ball down, let's go get 3. And you tell him that, and then the guy goes out and misses it. Well, what your quarterback can internalize based on that is, well, we ain't gonna get 3.
Mm-hmm. Now I got to do something.
Going in. I got to go do something.
Mm-hmm.
We're not making 3. So your kicker has to instill confidence in the quarterback and all those other things. You have to, and it's like Matt Rhule could talk about this way more intelligently than I can. He understands how you win football games, and so how you win close games and how you win low scoring games. And there's a logic behind, let's get 3 here, let's do what we need to do, let's put it on the board. Personally, I don't think, for example, the Detroit Lions coach understood that last year. I've never asked Rhule, and I should have asked him whether he would have taken the field goals in those 2 circumstances. But I think there's just things that that you do when you have an opportunity, except your kicker needs to make the kicks, and we'll see how that goes.
All right, Sam, appreciate it as always. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, take care.
Sam McKewon from the Omaha World-Herald, who makes many great points.
One of the smartest we have here locally.
About the brain of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. I didn't even think about that, Josh, but he makes an excellent point, as he always does.
You could take a victory lap if you so chose.
I'm doing the honorable thing.
Mm-hmm.
But let's look at the Super 6 and, where people voted. So, I mean, we don't know everything at this point. Not even the whole class is here yet.
Nope.
But the conglomerate media Super Six was as follows: Dylon,
Makes sense.
Carter Nelson,
Sure.
Grant Bricks,
Mhm.
Caleb Benning,
Yep.
Dante Dowdell, Micah Mazuka. Those are your 6. Transfers and freshmen could all be in here.
Heard some of those names.
You have
on Saturday.
You should have. To be fair, a couple of the 24/7 sports folks, Mike Schaefer and Michael Bruntz,
Yeah, the good people over there.
also had Ja'Cory Barney at number 2.
Oh, interesting.
Let's see. Did anybody else?
They copy off your paper?
No. If anything, I copied off of theirs because they were not specifically like their paper, but I know, Schaefer and I talk all the time and he liked them. And so that informs. Let's see. No, looks like we were the only 3 who had Barney at number 2.
Well, you're not afraid to go out on a limb.
No, I'm not. So the rest of my Super Six, if you're looking for people who are going to be good now, because I know.
Mm-hmm. Ball.
Dylon, number 1.
Dylon.
Ja'Cory Barney, number 2. Preston Taumua, who I believe was in there on Saturday, was at number 3. Mazuka was 4. Banks was 5. And Caleb was 6. Benning. And my sleeper,
Caleb Benning.
Caleb Benning. Mario Buford, I had at number sleeper. And yes, Sam is right. You can't put Barney, who was a high 4-star, at sleeper. No, you can't. Not allowed. But Ravi did that. Oh, Ravi.
Interesting.
This guy. And Evan Bland and Luke Mullen.
Can't do that, guys.
No, come on. Give me a break.
Interesting that I wasn't asked, and I would not have, but I know the rules better than people who did. Interesting.
Full question up at Happer Show. Is Connor Happer afraid to go out on a limb?
That was recommended to us by Charles in the YouTube chat.
It does not appear so.
And I stole it.
Douglas writes in.
Hi, Douglas.
Please schedule an interview with Dom Raiola. He says Raiola, though, and his wife, and call their son Dylon. Maybe I missed class on the day that we all found out that was funny.
Look.
It's annoying, Doug says.
For the 7,000th time.
It wasn't me. It was
Dylon.
Yeah.
There was a television show wildly popular amongst people Connor and my age titled Chappelle's Show.
The Dave Chappelle Show.
In that show, there was a sketch where a young man named Dylon was asked, who are the best 5 rappers of all time? And he said, Dylon 5 times and added it at the end. Because I spit hot fire. That's why we call Dylan Raiola Dylon.
But is it funny?
I don't care. It's a pop culture reference. We don't have a lot of drops on this show because my back is to the drops most of the show.
We should get Dom on and be like, hey, I want to come clean here. I call your son Dylon.
I think.
What do you think he would say? I bet he would be like,
"That's kind of weird, but okay."
He's like, "Why do you do that?" And we would explain him the whole bit, and then he'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I don't think he'd care.
I don't think he'd care either. But we should try. Mm-hmm. He is a friend of the show, by the way. He's come on the show.
Been on before. He'll be on again. Mm-hmm. Breaking news out of the National Football League.
Wait, one more Dylon text.
Oh yeah,
Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
I even call him Dylon, and my wife looked at me like I was an idiot.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're gonna do that. I got people in the. I'm sitting there doing Creighton stuff over the weekend. Guys come in the press box. They, I can't see when they come into the door, and they grab my shoulders and they go, Dylon.
All right, you got some weird coworkers.
Grown men with tears in their eyes. They're all doing that. What's going on in the NFL?
Breaking news out of the National Football League. You're going to have to deal with the Kansas City Chiefs, and you're going to have to deal with Travis Kelce. as he and the Chiefs have agreed on a new 2-year contract extension that makes him the NFL's highest paid tight end.
I wasn't really worried about us not having to deal with him.
Right.
So I wasn't mentally prepared.
Well, there was talks that
he's going to retire and go swim off to another continent with Taylor.
With Taylor and his brother, who's on ESPN now. Have you heard this?
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey's going to do the Monday Night Football pregame.
How about that? All right, we'll come back. A couple things to clean up. We still got the Fedoni bit that we could potentially still do tomorrow. I want to touch on a little baseball as well. All still to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But this week we have a new zone deal, as we do every week. Le Voltaire is the zone deal of the week this week. Locally owned French restaurant serving the Omaha community for 22 years. Unpretentious down-home cooking, serving classic French dishes, handcrafted cocktails, and more. Lovely place with this week's zone deal. It's two $25 vouchers, which is, of course, a $50 value if you could do math or if you could talk, for only $25. On sale this Friday, which is May 3rd, is this Friday.
People forget.
I know it seems like months from now, but it's May 3rd on Friday at 1620thezone.com.
Dylan. The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Dylan. Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
I'm telling you here, kids aren't coming to play college football or basketball for school. It's just the reality of it. How many times have you thought, wow, I wonder what his GPA is? There's a reason why when they announce starting lineups, they don't put their majors on there anymore, okay?
Gary, student comes before athlete.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, athlete ahead of student. Okay, there's 30,000 other students.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny skies for your Monday afternoon. A tad breezy at times with westerly winds up to 20 miles an hour, but comfortable. A high today in Omaha of 67. Skies stay mostly clear tonight with mild temperatures into the upper 40s, lower 50s. Starting Tuesday off, mostly sunny. Clouds will increase for your afternoon. Warm with a high of 81, southerly gusts up to 30 miles an hour, and a chance of storms after 2 p.m. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
Guys, let's have a conversation. Let's say you've been losing interest in your spouse. You got low libido. You can't focus on things. And you're wondering, what is going on? It may be low testosterone. Mentality is here for you. With their FDA-approved testosterone treatment, their board-certified physicians who work with most insurance companies, they can diagnose the symptoms of low testosterone and take care of it. Schedule an appointment today. Go to the website, lowtusa.com. Take back your life, man. Mentality, lowtusa.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
right, do we talk about the bad parts of the spring game? Or do we just skip it entirely?
There were no bad parts of the spring game. What are you
there
talking
were
about?
bad parts.
What are you talking
Knees in particular, or patellars.
Look, the NBA coach injured his patella. It happens.
I feel really bad for Matt Rhule because he was sitting up there in the TV booth and he was like, I want to be anywhere in the world that isn't here right now.
I want to jump out this window and go help my guy.
That's what he should do next year. Next year, bring a parachute with you, like DB Cooper, and just in case something happens and he needs to get down there immediately, he parachutes out the TV broadcast window.
So, like, right when the game started, they said, there's head coach Matt Rhule. He'll be joining us in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I thought they were just going to have him walking on the field and, like,
no.
Talk to him.
He came up to
in
them.
the moment. Yeah.
He came up to them.
Yeah, it was a run belly option. Yeah, like, just,
I felt horrible. He was breaking down some things, but they clearly had some bullet points they wanted to hit with him.
Mm-hmm.
But what... Like, I just would have blank slated it. I just would have been like, and I'm no TV producer, but I am a kind of a radio show producer. I do produce radio on a daily basis.
You do.
Bad at that, but it is still,
that doesn't matter.
It still exists. I just would have blank slated it. I was like, do some play-by-play if you want to. Fire away, coach. And then the guys get hurt. And so you got, I can't remember which one it was, either Bly Hill or Demetrius Bell lay on the ground, and Rhule's like, "Oh my God, I hate that." He literally said out loud, "I hate that I'm up here right now."
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad for Putney because he was like,
"So
hey, coach,
weight
check
room,
out this
the new facility.
The new facility, huh?
Looks
And
great."
I got some pictures, and he's like, "Yeah, it's great. It'll be really nice for us.
It's best in the country."
Where's my GD parachute? Get me out of here immediately. From the 402, he has a little spring game critique.
Ooh.
How about next year they make it the gray shirts dark gray instead of off-white so our kick returner doesn't get tackled?
Okay, yeah.
I actually love that.
I second that.
Also, I'll add to this with the gray uniforms. Just put the names back on there. It really fixes about half your problems if you just put the names back on the practice jerseys.
But then we can reuse them and save money.
It can't be about that, right?
I don't know.
I don't know why they did that. It must be like a Matt Rhule, like team over everything thing.
You play for the name on the front,
yeah,
not the name on the back.
But I can't.
Like at Penn State.
I don't think anybody knew who anybody was.
No.
That was the hard part about watching it on TV. I'm like, oh, that looked like a nice run. Who was that?
I knew 15. I knew 10.
Yes. Like I figured it out on a couple guys, but it took me some time. Like you would have had to have a roster in front of your face.
It would have really helped.
It would have really helped.
Because also they're doing play-by-play, but it's really more conversational. It's not, this was the play. Now they're at this down in distance.
Yeah. And, God bless Kenny Bell. Wasn't bringing much energy to the table there.
I liked the content of what he was saying, but yes, the energy was very low.
It lacked a little bit. That's okay.
I would like him to get another crack at it.
A couple just quick things here before we take a break. Congratulations to Nebraska for beating Iowa 2 out of 3 this weekend. Nice job by them.
2 out of 3.
That's right.
That's
that is
the
a
majority.
Good thing. They will travel down the road and play downtown tomorrow night, theoretically. I heard about another front in a front, and it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies now.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 83, and then not 83.
Yeah, that's definitely not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have to talk about Creighton for a second. So they're on the verge of being canceled. Josh, I have never even threatened to cancel a team before.
Wow. And
to be clear,
you should. It's fun.
I think I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because it would have long-term effects, Josh.
You work places where you have to show your face.
Well, I'm just saying,
and defend your tickets.
I'm not going to cancel them because of this. I think they're good, and I maintain that they're good.
Uh-huh.
But they can't. I mean, the first game that ended up getting pushed back from Friday that ended up being played on Saturday at 11 o'clock, that was a nightmare. They didn't even show up. They were so flat.
Really,
they were so flat for that game.
No excuses, but it was an unideal weekend for Creighton to host a conference series.
Sure,
they
guess.
needed to overcome the weather and everything,
and they put themselves in a bad spot. The weather didn't help, but honestly, maybe the weather did help. Maybe them losing that game, that third game, ultimately does help them somewhere down the road with percentage points or whatever it might be. And then, you got the second game of the doubleheader on Saturday, got all the way to the bottom of the eighth. You were losing, you had a 1-0 lead in that game. You left the bases loaded, all these, man. And so the same thing that applies to them during the week applies to them during the weekends. They just, somebody came into the office, Buff Josh came into the office this morning. He had all these things to say about Shedeur Sanders and whatever, and he's very confident. But then he also said, could you please explain to me Creighton baseball? And I said, here it is. It's actually kind of simple.
And Buff Josh knows about baseball.
They have a bunch of pitchers who are all like the same guy. They don't have a Friday night starter at the moment, and they are piecing together literally everything. Nobody's piecing together Friday and Saturday in college baseball, and so they're just trying to figure it out. Here's what I would do. I don't know what happens tomorrow with them, but obviously the rest of the series now are kind of must wins. You just have to win them all. They're 4-7 in the league. They're not going to make the NCAA tournament if you don't make the conference tournament.
11 games left in the season. 9 of those are conference games. It's probably too late in the season to do the bit of they're canceled.
Yeah, they need to win series the rest of the way. Here's what I would do. I think their best pitcher is a freshman from Minot, North Dakota. His name is Eli Nissen. I think he should pitch on Friday nights. And I think he ended up pitching on Saturday. I think, you throw him out there. He's going to give you 70 pitches. Almost all of them are going to be strikes. And he is going to, he's not going to be overpowering in any way, shape, or form. But I think he's the best they have to offer right now. Put him out there on Friday nights. And then let the rest of the weekend. Because if you get 6 innings on Friday night, you're set up, right? But Creighton's doing this thing where, and they have no choice, where they have to just throw the, hey, give me 6 outs on Friday night. Nobody does that. That's why they can't win on the weekend. So it's hard. But man, they are on the brink right now for their best team in a few years. And they're 30-11, but they are on the brink. Because they're 4-7 in the conference, and they're probably not going to make the conference tournament unless they really turn it around the weekend immediately.
You got 3 against St. John's, who's above you in the standings, and then the next week you got 3 against UConn,
they're good,
who's above you in the standings.
And then Seton Hall sucks.
Yeah, they're both road. Those first 2 are road series, so tall task, but it's bleep cutting time.
Yeah, even if you get,
as they say,
even if you just say, all right, fine, we'll just put it to side, we're going to sweep Seton Hall, which I don't think is a guarantee. Then they're 7-7 in the league right now, and you got to win 2 series the next 2 weekends. You have to get to 11 conference wins, gets you to the bottom of, that's going to get you to the bottom of the conference, the bottom of the 4.
They have not swept a conference series this year.
Yeah. So where is it? You got to find it. Jeff writes in on the text line.
They've only won 1 conference series this year. That's against Butler.
Jeff writes in on the text line. He says, time for the excuses. No time for the excuses. Maybe they're just not that good, guys. No, they are actually good. That's what makes it so baffling. Right. But they're not. They're really not good in one department. And that's
starting pitching.
Yeah. All right. Quick break. Poll questions. Tell you what to watch on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
Yu Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620, The Zone.
What a mess.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
Welcome to this episode of RV Ready, brought to you by Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs by Lake Manawa. Rhodey, where are you headed?
I'm on my way to Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs for the big open house sale.
When is it?
This Saturday, May 4th. Everything's on sale. Parts are even discounted.
Is that the one where they have Stoystitch hot dogs, prize drawings, clowns, and face painting?
You got it.
Love it.
Oh, don't forget.
The coffee's always on.
Of course it is.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferys at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank members. FDIC terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and more. Plus, all our vehicles come with fair, transparent pricing and no dealer fees. So you only pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Get started at BaxterFord.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
To the polls at Happer Show on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed, we had the following questions posed to you all today. The listening audience or the non-listening audience. Black cherry flavor, yes or no?
Give me a hell yeah.
Not an option.
Oh, sorry.
So I will vote no.
I will vote yes.
58% say yes.
Okay.
Was that as convincing as you thought it would be?
I guess it's about where I thought it would be.
And then just one more as far as I'm concerned here. Yeah.
Pretty sports heavy today.
Is Connor Happer afraid to go out on a limb?
I will vote yes for the bit.
I am kind of afraid to go out on a limb. I'm very scared of heights.
That's true.
Mild takes, cold cuts, mild takes. Isn't that what the graphic says?
Something like that, yes.
I am afraid. 70% currently through very early returns say, yes, I am afraid to go out on a limb. All right, I'll take this as constructive criticism. I'll start putting myself in harm's way more.
Yeah, really go out there.
I'm just trying to get to fourth down and punt it.
Punting
Those are my
winning.
takes. Those are my takes. Yeah, we don't need we need field goals and we need punts. Every once in a while, we'll get a touchdown. That's all. All right, what are we watching tonight, Josh?
We're watching a trio of NBA playoff games tonight. 6:30 TNT in Miami. The Celtics look to take a 3-1 lead over the Heat. Hopefully they do that.
Editorializing.
But I don't know. It's kind of scary. I got to be honest. Then the followed by at 7:30 on NBA TV, the Thunder look to eliminate the New Orleans Pelicans and send them to Galveston.
With the dirty ass water.
And then it is in the mason jar, 9 o'clock TNT, the Denver Nuggets.
This will be it, LeBron.
This is it. Look to eliminate the Los Angeles Lakers. No heroic LeBron effort can surely thwart Nikola Jokic.
Definitely not.
2 NHL playoff games on ESPN, doubleheader. 6 o'clock start there in Florida for the Panthers hosting the Lightning. They can eliminate the Lightning with a win tonight. And then in Vegas, the Golden Knights host the Stars. Dallas leads that series 2-1. Baseball on your TV tonight, 6:40 FS1. The White Sox host the Twins. What a great game to select.
Very,
FS1.
very fun.
Then a trio of games go on at 8:40 tonight on MLB Network. The Diamondbacks host the Dodgers. Your MLB TV free game of the day is Phillies Angels. And then ESPN Plus has Pirates A's at 8:40. Movies on your TV tonight. Old School is on FX at 7 o'clock. Goodfellas is on Paramount at that same time. Con Air is on AMC at 8:30. Hello. What more could you ask for? Con Air's on tonight, everybody.
I'm going to a concert, I guess.
Oh, that's right.
Because that's a thing that I do.
The not Luke Bryan, it's Zach Bryan, right?
That is right. Different guy.
Different. Those are different people.
Yep.
Look at me. I'm learning.
Once again, visit our website, 1620thezone.com/tornado relief. If you can spare a helping hand for our neighbors, we encourage you to do so. And we got a couple links set up for you there, 1620thezone.com/tornado relief. That's it for us today. If you missed anything, head to our website. You're already there, 1620thezone.com. The crossover is next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Is your concrete cracked or uneven? Hey everyone, Coach Greg McDermott here to explain why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. Many people think they need to replace broken concrete, but repairing it provides durable protection and comes at a fraction of the cost. Everlevel provides permanent repair solutions to fix your concrete and protect it against future damage, and it all comes with a long-term transferable warranty. They offer free inspections to walk you through the entire process. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today.
Watching a ball game at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is pretty awesome. Oscar's offers the MLB package, so your team is always on their upgraded audio-video system, and nothing is better than watching the game with a cold frosty one, Oscar's Pizza, or award-winning char-buffed wings. And with daily lunch and dinner specials, it's really a no-brainer. So get ready to watch your favorite team play ball at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and takeout at 162nd and Maple.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is $50 in vouchers to Le Voltaire French Restaurant for only $25. Le Voltaire Pepperwood Village is a locally owned, unpretentious French restaurant that serves delicious French cooking with an extensive wine list and great handcrafted cocktails. Whether dining with friends, clients, or that special someone, Le Voltaire will make you feel right at home.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
It's happening daily. We're being conned by the institutions we used to trust. The mainstream media is distracting us with meaningless headlines instead of focusing on the harsh realities facing American families. Time is short before something big happens, and that's why so many folks are preparing. They're becoming self-reliant by investing in emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and secure 4-week emergency food kits for each member of your family. Each kit contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Save $50 on each 4-week food kit you purchase. Plus, get free shipping on Ready Hour 4-week emergency food kits. You're not ready if it's not Ready Hour Foods. At My Patriot Supply, you can also get solar power generators, water filtration units, heirloom seeds, and survival gear. Order by 3 p.m. and your unmarked boxes ship the same day. Shop MyPatriotSupply.com today. MyPatriotSupply.com.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes,
The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.